Hi there, my name is FixFox and welcome back to Heroes of Might and Magic 2. I am very happy to get to come to you for the part 3 finale to Colossal Cavern. I believe that we're going to be able to finish this up today in large part because in a previous playthrough we were able to get from a random graveyard one of the best artifacts you could possibly hope for in Heroes of Might and Magic 2, and that is the Battle Garb of Anduran. It's going to be +5 to our attack, +5 to our spell power, +5 to our defense, and we're going to have maximum morale, maximum luck, and the ability to town gate all over Tarnation. And I'm going to plan on using that because it's going to help us get into the real meat and potatoes of the story that we have here for Colossal Cavern. I could not have planned this any better. Could not have planned this any better. And so I'm very excited to dive right back in and finish up this wonderful playthrough. And with that being said, let's dive right in. As always, please help me in case there's some issues with audio, video, or anything like that. I always rely on good people around me to make sure that things are going just the way that they ought to. So, as we're loading back in here, it's going to be an awful lot of the Battle Garb because here, Zam is one of our primary heroes out there. He's been doing some excellent work for us, and through this graveyard, picking up this +5, +5, +5, and the Town Portal spell, we're now going to be able to make great use of every single one of these towns and castles we have. By the way, while we usually play on FHeroes2, today we are playing on Heroes of Might and Magic 2, the original gold, because Colossal Caverns was a little bit broken when I tried to play it with FHeroes2. But we started off here in this castle here to the bottom left, starting off as the Necromancers. We've worked our way through up to the north and through several bad guys. Funny enough, there was this red wizard that we could bypass by going through this magic well in order to get to his tent, but we were able to then secure a couple of gold mines. We were able to secure a couple of different towns, Ogrograd, for example, and then a few more to the north, not too far away, Mordantia, Mondo, so on and so forth. And then there have been several liths that we've been able to gain access to and walk through. For example, not too far away, there we go. There's these stone liths that have taken us to this far reaches, kind of in the right-hand center of the map. I believe that we started somewhere, was it right over here? Yes, it took us to this area. And Zam has done a pretty good job for us, trying to make sure that he can come on through and clean out many opportunities in front of him. One of the issues was, though, that we have seen some big enemies that are usually stationary. They are not here to attack us. This is more of an RPG map rather than a defeat all of your enemies sort of a deal. And that is further compounded when you consider the reality that this scenario is not a defeat all of your enemies kind of a scenario. This is actually a scenario where you have to get a certain amount of gold, 1 million units of gold. I feel like Dr. Evil just saying, like, is that even possible? And the answer is yes, it is. And we're going to make that happen. It's just going to take a little bit of time. So we're going to do the best we can in order to get that amount of gold. Bearded Man saying, regular Heroes 2 gold? That's new to me. I wonder how your playstyle changes. That's a really unique and interesting question. And I'll tell you right now, Bearded Man, that I don't even really know the answer to that. Because I've gotten so very much used to the FHeroes2 AI in battle and around that this has felt very, very much different to me. And yet I've done fairly well. It's just like riding a bike that you're not used to riding. That's kind of the best way I could describe it. And for example, this battle with these wolves, I know exactly what the FHeroes2 AI is going to do, but I have less idea about what the Heroes 2 Gold is going to do. They surprise me. How about that? It surprises me all the time, and I'm good with that. I'm totally fine with that. So we're going to keep an eye out on that. That's a great question. That's a great thing to consider. I want to know how I play differently when I'm on Heroes 2 Gold versus FHeroes2. I just don't have any particular insights myself. Maybe you can keep an eye out for me and help me trying to figure out how my playstyle changes. By the way, so we do have Zam as a Necromancer. He is currently level 18, 11, 17, 14, and 13. He's got some moderate forces, not too bad. Again, he's got the artifact right now. My primary hero is actually this Beastmaster Warlock who's level 19. I think I just like his stats a little bit better. He's carrying the bulk of our Necromancer army. The basic Necromancy was a question in the past of whether or not we use that to great effect, and so far, I think I don't hate the decision to have him keep that on him. The question's maybe going to be, can we get a town so we can get the Battle Garb onto our best hero? In the past, I've generally said, look, I don't want to use Dimension Door. I don't want to use Town Portal because it can break the game. But in this case, because the enemies are more or less static and stationary, this is just going to be a nice opportunity for me to get troops to the front of the fight. And so I'm not going to feel bad at all. I will tell you right now, I will not feel bad whatsoever about using that battle garb to get people around. I think that we're going to very quickly have my Beastmaster hero and Zam combine forces, so that way we can just have all of our best forces on one hero. Look at this! Look at this! So, on the one hand, you can pick up a battle garb of Anduran from a graveyard. On the one hand, battle garb of Anduran. In the very next graveyard, we just picked up the Fizbin of Misfortune. That's a little bit of a massive swing. -2 morale versus being able to have +5 to your stats and teleport. Wow. Graveyards are proving to be very interesting. I still actually have to ask the question, and I need to do some science, some experimenting here to find out if you can, how do we put this? If you can have all of the graveyards on a map, as many graveyards on a map as there are artifacts. I wonder if it's going to be, once an artifact has been used by a graveyard, it's not going to be replicated or duplicated, as if it's taken from the pool of possible resources, or if I could get another Fizbin just down the road in a moment or two. I don't know how that works, but if there's only one artifact you can get at a time, then maybe the more graveyards on the map, the more likely you are to get that battle garb of Anduran. That's my working theory. I don't know how true it is. We'll find out. Rise to Ruin's in the chat. Says, morning fix, excited to become millionaires today. Rise to Ruin, what are you doing that's making you a millionaire today? I'm not doing anything that's making me a millionaire today. That'd be very, very much a surprise if we won the lottery. If it happens, wonderful, fantastic. We're going to have to take a trip to Disneyland or Disney World or somewhere better than that. I don't know, somewhere. But first, we got to win the lottery. Then we'll figure it out. Let's see. Mother Astor, she's just kind of a throwaway hero. By the way, we do have all 8 heroes. We're picking up kind of in the middle of this day, but I don't really remember. It's been about 2-3 weeks since we left off with this scenario, and I'm a little bit on the struggle bus trying to figure out where I ought to go. One hero, Troy Ann, is going to continue to pick up dragons from this Dragon City. I think Mother Astor, I'm just going to send her back through these liths, because I think that these liths can take her to some other nifty places that are going to be pretty useful. By the way, because we're playing Heroes 2, not FHeroes2, I can't just hit spacebar to re-engage with this lith and hit on back through the lith. I have to step on, step off. And for balance changes and stuff, it's not a bad change. Not a bad change. It is what it is. Happy 100th day. Oh my goodness, we are 100 days into the scenario. Your armies break off whatever they were doing and have a big party. Afterwards, you note that though your treasury has been somewhat depleted, morale has never been better. I am happy to pay 1,000 gold so that my troops do not rebel against me. I cannot abide. I cannot stand for a mutiny. This is not the time for that. So anything I can do to avoid that mutiny, the better. Okay, so Carlon here, by the way, she's got a couple of these forces. She was going to do the hero chain up through the long winding road. That's not her job anymore. Her job is to leave these forces here because the battle garb is going to take care of transferring troops back and forth. Let's have her pick up this water wheel and then she can come back in just a moment or two. I mean, Zam could go back right now. I'm going to choose not to, but he could if he wanted to. H. Mbrock, I don't think I've ever found a crazy good item in a graveyard or a shipwreck survivor, but you in your videos already found at least 2 if I remember right. It would be a little bit of a question what the other one could be. I'm sure that there's tons of good ones I found. I just can't remember off the top of my head maybe like what the best one is. So yeah, there's been some really pretty good ones. But then again, I mean, consider how much Heroes of Might and Magic do we have on YouTube and on Twitch right now? We've got an awful lot, so it wouldn't actually really surprise me if we've just had some really good luck because we've been able to play so many games. That might add to it just a little bit. If I had a shield spell and I could figure out where these elves were going to attack, I would probably have cast the shield spell. I might have even cast it on these archers here. If they all fight my dragon, I don't think that they're going to beat me, but maybe. I know for sure I'm not going to kill 26. Never mind. I'm going to kill a full stack of the Grand Elves. That was a little bit of wasted damage. And it looks like I am correct. It is going to be the archers that take the bit of a beating, but we're going to use the Fire Blast to kind of get started, and then we're just going to roll from there. Losses are totally acceptable. totally acceptable. We started off with like 170 something archers, and a full salvo from all of these creatures has only cost us about 10 to 15 archers. That's just fine for me. That is the power of 17 defense in action, looking so good. Having a great time with this. Okay, wonderful. And then Bearded Man says it would be neat if that event actually increased the morale of your troops. Yeah, if you have to pay the 1,000 gold, but for that week, maybe you have +1 morale. That would be awesome. That would be maybe even one of the things that the FHeroes2 map editor might allow you to do in the future. I don't know. I've been told that the FHeroes2 map editor, the plan is to have it be in the style of the Heroes Might and Magic 4 map editor. That is the template that the FHeroes2 team is kind of going with. Whether or not that could possibly include that feature, I don't know, but I know that there's lots of scripting that is possible through the Heroes 4 map editor. So it's possible, totally possible. And then Zarfall, nice to have you in the chat. Nice to have H.M. Brock, Bearded Man, Zarfall. Thank you all for being here so much. Zarfall saying, picking up battle garb from something like a Shipwreck survivor is hilarious. Maybe the Shipwreck guy couldn't use the town portal while in the ocean. He didn't have a friendly town to fast travel to. Is that kind of what you're saying? Because you would think, yeah, you'd think that he'd be able to just handle it, no problem. But clearly there was an issue. And so if he doesn't know how to use it, maybe he doesn't know what he has. Oh, maybe he doesn't know what he has. And so he thinks to himself, well, it's just going to weigh me down. This is going to cause me to drown because it's so heavy, this heavy sort of armor. That would be very interesting if that's the reason why he gave it over. He's like, man, this thing almost cost me my life. And we're looking at him like, dude, do you know what you just gave us? Yeah. What the true reality is there, I can't possibly tell you, but I know that I'm excited to have that artifact. I will gladly take it from him. Thank you for your kindness in giving me the Battle Garb of Anduran. We're going to start upgrading this mage guild. I had avoided doing it in the past because I said to myself, look, when am I ever going to get my main hero back here? Since we've got the Battle Garb, that changes our plans drastically. Instantly, you start to see our plans change based off of this one artifact. H.M. Brock says, yeah, I mean, I was working off of the assumption that I had played more FHeroes2 than you have made videos, but upon second thought, that might no longer be true. I couldn't even tell you. I'm happy to say that we are very close to hitting our 200th video on YouTube. Now, granted, that's not all Heroes of Might and Magic. Some of that's Factorio, some of that's some other videos, but we're getting to the point where, you know, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and 200 YouTube videos is within spitting distance, as it were. And so I know it ends up being an awful lot of heroes that we've played, and I'm very happy for it. I think that my life is better. In the last year and a half, or about year and a half, my life is better because I've been having so much fun playing these games. So I make no apologies for it. Grateful for all the folks that have been very supportive and helpful. And as I've said before, I never planned for this to be my thing that I was going to do, but I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to have found such a wonderful hobby with so many nice, wonderful people. Thank you all for being here. The pleasure is mine. Oh, look at this. We're going to get this nice double hex attack off. No. This rogue is about to go. Looks like we're going to use the dragon to attack in this direction. We're going to attack this rogue that's the very closest with our biggest stack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one halfling is unfortunately going to have to go down. And then do I really care where the dragon's going to roast? No, but these rogues are going to go. They're going to kill one. And we're just going to let this dragon clean up. This is probably one of those fights where it would be best if we let the auto battler take care of it. But alas, in Heroes 2, we have no auto battler. Time saved is a very important thing. So, worth noting, by the way, folks. So I've been doing my research for an upcoming video I'm planning on doing. Around the time of my 200th video, I do plan on releasing a video that's simply going to be titled Everything We Know About Olden Era at This Point. And in all of my research on Steam, their Discord, YouTube, and a couple of other places, Twitter. I even ended up on Twitter and Instagram. I don't even use Twitter or Instagram. I did go through an awful lot of things, and it sounds very interesting to me. Some of the different features that they are planning on having for that Olden Era game. Of course, the auto battler. It was very interesting to me to hear from Dennis, who is apparently the CEO of Unfrozen Studios. His intention of trying to make games between potentially 45 minutes to an hour for tournament type things. So it's going to be kind of interesting. There's going to be 3 different types of game modes. I'll tell you more about it in a little bit, but pretty interesting to know that there's going to be a lot of different ways you can play the upcoming Olden Era. And so when we're talking about improving game speed and things like that, I really do miss the FHeroes2 auto battler. That really does speed a lot of these fights along. Fighting every single battle is not unfun, but it does add to the game significantly. So, okay, back we go. Let's see, we got Trenlow in the chat. Hello, Trenlow, nice to have you here. Are we using Dimension Door yet? We haven't used it yet, but we are going to be using the, what is it called? We are absolutely going to be using the Town Portal. So I haven't gotten Dimension Door here yet, but Town Portal, it's on the board, and we are going to use it. We're going to have a lot of fun using it. 100%. So Trenlow, welcome to have you in here. Alex Let's Play fan. Hello there, Mr. Fox. Hello, Alex Let's Play fan. Let's see. I hope everything is fine with your beautiful family and your newborn. Thank you. The newborn is doing great. He is bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. Couldn't ask for anything better in my life. My dear sweet wife is a joy. My 4-year-old is fantastic, and so is my newborn. Thank you for asking. And thanks for finding time to entertain us anyhow. Hey, the pleasure is mine, trust me. So thank you for being here. Thanks for the support. And also, thanks for enjoying this wonderful game along with me. I get more enjoyment because we get to play together. So happy to have you here. Thank you. And then Christina Diamonds from Germany. Hello, Christina. Hello, so happy to be here almost in time. So excited for this stream. Wonderful. I'm thrilled to have you here. I noted in the previous stream that you had logged on and you said hello. And then I didn't actually say hello to you until the very end of the stream, and I felt so bad. So if I occasionally miss people in chat, my sincerest apologies. But you are missed when I don't get to see you, and I do note your presence when you are here. So thank you so very much for being here, Christina. Always a pleasure. And then Bearded Man says, there is auto battle, Fix Fox. When battling, there's the auto button in the bottom left that allows for automatic battling. Hey, you're totally right. Is it faster? It's totally faster, isn't it? I didn't even think about that. That's totally faster. Okay, so hold on though. Here's my question. Do I trust the Heroes of Might and Magic 2 gold enough to just hit auto battle and just finish this fight for me? Will I lose this dragon? Possibly. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bless my biggest stack of halflings. I'm going to skip on the dragon, and then I'm gonna hit this auto battle, and it is gonna go faster because there's not gonna be thinking and stuff like that. Will the AI do me good? Okay, so far so good. I would have attacked the other rogue. That's just me. I would not have attacked that rogue. This is a disaster. No more auto battle. That is hilarious. That could not have gone any better. I love that. Okay, so what if we learned the Heroes of Might and Magic 2? Yeah, its AI is good, it's fun, it's great, it's classic, but that was about as poorly of a fight fought as we could have imagined. And that's okay, because now we've done it, our research for science, and now Troyan is just missing about 150 halflings. I gotta read chat on this. You guys have got some good comments there. Let's see. Zarfall says LOL. Trenlow says LOL. Might as well dismiss the rest of those halflings now. Yeah, the ones that survived, let them go in peace. Rise to Ruin says auto battle. Peace was never an option. Bearded Man. No, you're so fine. Bearded Man says, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have recommended that, but that was just too funny. What even was that? Oh, mic turned off? Is my mic turned off? My mic or just the general sound? Give me some more feedback on that. That's hilarious. And I'm for it. Okay, mic is on. Okay, gotcha. No, don't feel bad about that at all though. Because now we've done it for science and that's okay. I'm perfectly fine with that. Wonderful, wonderful. And Trinlo says, after watching the first video on your Colossal Caverns, I ended up giving it a try on the old client, and while it had some bugs, like you couldn't exit water after entering the boat, you did get the win. Wonderful. Did you get to the end kind of secrets? That's what I'm going for. We could absolutely hit 1 million gold. The goal is to actually divulge this map of its secrets. So did you get to the secrets? That's my question. And then on FHeroes2, it's still bugged, so weird things happen. Yeah, definitely agree with that, 100%. Okay, make way for the dragon breath. What was that? Oh, hell. Yeah, Alex, Let's Play fan. I agree with that. Okay. So we had a fun moment there. I'll tell you what, I've mentioned this before. I would prefer fun moments as opposed to 100% tactical gameplay all the time. The tactical gameplay is fun and useful and important, and that's why I keep coming back to Heroes. Don't get me wrong. But I really do enjoy being able to do more. There's so much more I enjoy doing, and having fun moments like that. That's why I play video games. That's the moment. That's the reason why. Oh, if you recall, by the way, Beastmaster is not attacking these troops because he does have the diplomacy, I believe. Yes, diplomacy. And so we're hoping to get up to at least advanced diplomacy, so that way we can go through some of these enemies a little bit better. Did I already go through this graveyard? Artifacts? Endless pouch of gems? We're going to accept the morale penalty if we go through there. We'll see. I don't know. I don't recall. It's been 2-3 weeks. And maybe that's my fault. Maybe that's my fault for not coming back quicker to Colossal Cavern. As you recall, last week we did Full House. I just wanted to make sure that the vibe was right for this playthrough, and so we avoided going back here until we were fully ready. And so that's okay. Oh, Bearded Man, you pressed mute by mistake. Gotcha. Hey, been there, done that. I'm glad to know that I am in good company. That feels wonderful to me. Okay. And Trinlo says, yeah, but I had to use the dimension door. So you did get to all the secrets because it's way too big to find all the secrets without it. I completely agree. And so I thought about this the other day. Horde of Wolves? Hold on. For Troyanne? I don't know if Troyanne can beat a Horde of Wolves anymore. I don't think she can. But when I'm thinking about it here, yeah, I can't beat a Horde of Wolves anymore, so I have to go the other way. That's okay. We'll just go in the back way. Yeah, it's too big. There's too many secrets, but I realized that because we're on Heroes2 Gold, do you people realize what that means? That means that if we wanted to use cheats, we could. We could totally use cheats if we wanted to because we're on Heroes2 instead of FHeroes2. So if it's the difference between finding all of the secrets and not, oh, you better believe that we're going to be getting swaths of dragons left and right. And I'm not going to apologize for it because, hey, this is a fun scenario. The enemy is not going to come and take our castle. That's not what this scenario is about. The scenario is about fun and the secrets. And so just in case we ever get into a bind, just be aware that I've got no shame at this point anymore in this scenario. We're going to enjoy this thing. And sometimes cheats do help you enjoy. That's the biggest reason I believe to actually use cheats is that if it helps you enjoy the game more, go for it. Go for it. I don't use cheats, especially if I'm like playing something like this for people, with people. But I could see it being very, very fun. And let's be real. When's the next time that we're going to come back to Heroes2, the original? Might not be for some time. So, by the way, Trenla also says the passive income hits a critical mass, and I had to use Dimension Door to explore all the map. Yeah. So eventually you're getting too close to your win conditions. So in order to find all of the secrets, you have to really move faster. I agree with that. And I don't want, the worst thing would be if we hit 1 million gold and I didn't even realize it. And then I hadn't saved for quite some time. That would be maybe the worst thing to happen because then what are we going to do? Spend the time to go back and replay it just so we can, from the previous save? Probably not. So, yep. Good thoughts there. If we're getting close to 1 million gold, folks, please let me know because we do want to avoid that if at all possible. I don't know if there's any other whirlpools on this map. Is it worth it to me to lose peasants just to find out? I think so. Oh, by the way, worth noting that in FHeroes2, it lets you know if you do lose a peasant. If you lose any troops that go overboard, it has a little thing that says some of your troops have fallen overboard. That is not the case here. It just takes your troops from you. So, things to think about. Can I not land? Am I stuck? Crag hack. Whatever is wrong with you? Why do you not want to land? I'm a little confused. Interesting. He can land over here, but he can't land over there. Good thing it's just peasants. All right, and that's that. So I think the Crag Hack is now officially stuck where he's at. And unless I can move forward in this area, I think that this is just kind of dead space to me. I don't think that he could actually land over here anyway. So we're going to miss out on a gold traveler's tent and some of this other stuff. But I think that there was a gold tent somewhere else we've already picked up. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. I won't worry about it too much. We're just going to let Crag Hack stay at sea. And if he wants to get seasick, by all means, my friend, you go be seasick. And on to the new thing. Okay. And then let's see, Rice Ruin says, I don't think that those halflings prefer fun moments anymore. Oh well, they'll make some nice short ribs for the dragons. Short ribs. Short ribs. I like that very, very much. Oh yes, there's a gold traveler's tent there as well. Oh, and there's actually a Magellans Maps. Is that reachable by water? Looks like you have to go through rogues to get there. Once again, for Troy Ann, without the halflings supporting her, she has to go the long way and be very, very safe with her forces. I will defeat these golems. Wow, these forces are a little bit tougher than I thought. 161 archers is going to be just fine for me, but it's a little tougher than I thought. But as we're fighting these fights, I do just want to clear out what I can, knowing that I'm about to head back to one of my main towns. So we're going to get there in just a moment. This fight might be a little bit tougher than I gave it credit for. Archers are going to kill one full stack. Okay, it's not that tough. Never mind. I changed my mind. Skip, skip, skip. Kill. Skip, 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 and kill. Especially with the good luck. Although I have to say, I haven't really noticed the Battle Garb of Anduran's luck and morale bonus just yet. It hasn't really paid off at the moment. We had the one instance there, but that was really the first time that we ever kind of used that. Let's just go straight for experience. As much experience as possible is going to be good for us. I think the Beastmaster, when he goes back, he's going to end up picking up an awful lot of experience through those 2 trees. I don't think he ever picked up these trees of knowledge. Maybe Zam did, but so you might as well get the experience instead of the gold, especially if we're worried about getting too close to that 1 million breakpoint. That would be a little bit of a problem there. And Trenlow does say, oh yes, there's that bug. Oh, so you saw that bug as well. I'm not the only person that saw that bug. You can get into the boat, you just can't get out of the boat. Okay, good, good. Tell you what, I feel like I find so few bugs, and whenever I do find a bug, it's more like an issue with the map that was created through the map editor, that I feel like Heroes is a pretty airtight game, all things considered. Like, really, it does pretty good to just let it do its best and let it play out the way it does, because it plays really well. I don't find a lot of bugs. Pyramid, cracked earth, standing stones, mountain range. It's not here. Next time we find cracked earth, though, I think that we might be very, very close to getting an ultimate artifact. Wouldn't that be wonderful if we got the golden goose as our ultimate artifact, though? That'd be a little bit too on the nose for this scenario, wouldn't it be? Okay, we're gonna go to Luckenbach. Oh, and by the way, this is another place where the FHeroes2 AI improved the user face. This spell is hard to use in Heroes 2, much better to use here. When you can, or much better to use in FHeroes 2, much worse to use other places. We're gonna keep these archers. We're gonna take vampire lords. We're gonna take bone dragons for sure. We're gonna leave these air elementals behind even. And Zam is gonna stay here until he can get up to this 5th level spell, whatever this 5th level spell is. And then he is gonna try and get back over. Resurrect True, I like it. Not great for undead and dragons, but it's still a good spell. And we're going to see if we can find the closest town to Beastmaster so we can make this big handoff. Yes, that's what we're going to do. Although, we might even try and make sure that we may try and find a way to get both heroes closer to the front. No, maybe. This is probably where we're going to go. Dwarfburg and Ghoultown. Those are probably going to be the 2 places that we try and get to as soon as possible. So, okay, we'll make this work. Oh, Legend of the Templar Graves. By the way, I have been taking pictures of this. This is one of the long-term secrets from this wonderful game. And I don't know if I've got this Legend of the Templar clue, but I'm guessing I do. I feel like I must. Let me find all of these. Okay. So just so we're all on the same page, the red Keymaster's tent word is ointment. Aqua keyword is evil. Orange keyword is ghost. And then, let's see. And then brown is hope. Blue is blacksmith. Green is rogue. And then for the Legend of the Templar, P is S. A is M. I is O. S is W. And then the gold tent, by the way, is also crest. And it looks like some of these are actually repeated. I found another Legend of the Templar that also says A equals M. So this is maybe the second or maybe the third time that we've come upon this particular hint. But this is going to be useful in the end. I'm pretty darn sure. Pretty darn sure. Okay. And then let's see. A bearded man says, but in theory, you can postpone reaching the 1 mil as much as you want by trading. That's a good point. Yeah, I could just put all my resources, all my gold into precious resources and then trade them in, trade them out. It's like putting stuff into a bank. So yeah, I like that idea. That's a good idea. We'll try and do that as soon as we can. There is this yellow hero here, Snowmane. I don't think I'm scared of him. Let's try and pick up another level of experience there. Crag Hack is just done. He's just, maybe I can get some in both though. I don't know what to do with Crag Hack. I'm just going to let him stay because it doesn't look like you can even land over here anyway. What the? Interesting pathing. Very interesting pathing. Okay, I'm just going to leave Crag Hack for now. And then, by the way, Mother Astra is going to try and run by this hero here in Wormington. Looks like we're picking up 1,000 gold per day here, 1,000 gold per day there. Probably running out of room to run with those dragons. And then on to a new day. And the water isn't unique when it comes to landing either. It's super weird. Gotcha. Yeah, I think that we're exploring that with Crag Hack, Trenlow, that bug is just kind of odd in all ways. Don't put an important hero on the boat near your first castle either. It has the same issue with Crag Hack and the boat has at the moment. So like right here, if I did a summon boat, I shouldn't try to get from here to there, sort of a deal. Okay, good idea. We do have the battle garb, but that doesn't mean that we want to put ourselves in a precarious position where maybe we cannot get back. That would be obviously one of the very worst things that could happen. Definitely something with this map that causes it. Hey, I do believe that Charles Watkins mentioned that this map is supposed to be saved often because it does crash. So if we have a crash, that'll be kind of amazing. Let's see if that ever happens. This place is larger than it looked. As you scan the cavern up ahead, you see some sort of industrial activity. Suddenly, a pack of green dragons sweeps down to block your way. The largest speaks in fiery breaths. So you've slain the master. No, I have not. So you think, like all puny humans, your vanity clouds your vision. How else could you conceive that we dragons would serve other than the dragon lords? Okay, first off, I haven't killed your main guy. I just walked right by him because he's not coming to fight me. But I understand what you're thinking. I can understand why you would think that, sir. I can. Let me use some of my verbal judo to try and diffuse the situation. And my verbal judo looks something like that. Oh my gosh, what's that over there? And then he looks, and then I run that way. That's my verbal judo. It's just like I distract, I disorient, and then I sneak away. Why would I need to fight somebody if I can just run away? That's one of my favorite bits of advice when it comes down to people, for example, who have things like, oh, what would you call it? Things like, knife fight. People say, hey, what should I do in the event that there's a knife fight and somebody wants to pull a knife on me? What do I do? And the answer is run. Like, what do you want to do? You want to fight the guy with the knife? Give you and one of your best friends a marker and say, okay, treat this like a knife. Every single time you get some marker on you, you just had a pretty serious wound, right? And then you realize how deadly a knife fight is. So hopefully none of us here have ever been in a knife fight. Oh my gosh, am I being insensitive to people who have been in knife fights? If so, I'm very, very sorry. I'll do better. Christina Diamonds, there isn't a place where stones are placed in a vertical line for this obelisk. Yeah, so we haven't found a place yet, but that's just like a very interesting kind of puzzle. This is very, very unique, right? These were all individually placed doodads in this sort of line here. And so if we see that, I'm guessing that it's going to be pretty obvious. I'm wondering if this leads to like a castle. Maybe this is like the mouth of a castle, Christina. That would make sense to me. I don't know what your thoughts are there, but if we see this, it's gonna be pretty obvious that we need to start digging. And then H. Brock, I had a quick look at the source code for the artifact awards in FHeroes2. And from what I understood, the only addition to a random lookup in the table of artifacts, there is a check to try and make the item unique on the map. But that looks like it. So if it can be unique, they want it to be unique. Very interesting. I like that. I like that a lot. Huh. Thank you for doing the check. And just because that's how they do it in FHeroes2, I know that that doesn't necessarily mean that that's how it is here in this game either, but still, it's worth noting that there's probably a lot of similarities, especially because the FHeroes2 team has tried to restore the game rather than make it in their own image. So really, I think that we can pretty much plan on it being, if not an exact one-to-one, at least very similar. That seems fair to me. So yeah, good idea to take a look there. By the way, Pikeman growth is up by 5. And we have Clayman in the chat. Hello, Clayman SK. Nice to have you there. Hi, Fix. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Always a pleasure to have you. Hopefully you guys' Saturday evening is going quite well. That's always my hope for everybody here, that everybody's having a wonderful Saturday, and I'm very happy when I get to be a part of your Saturday evening. It makes me happy. So, Christina says, "Oh, I thought I saw it somewhere." Oh, did you? Possibly. The only cracked earth I see is right over here. So we're gonna continue to keep our eye out for it, but you look for it. This feels like a game of bingo. The first person that spots that artifact spot, I feel like they should get a prize. Maybe I should do a better job of trying to make prizes here on the Twitch channel, so that way it can be more fun and interactive. The first person that sees the ultimate artifact spot, the first person that sees, I don't know, any number of things. I think that would be actually a very, very fun sort of way to keep this interactive. Because, I don't know, I like watching people play. I also like being able to interact with the game that I'm playing myself. One thing that I don't know how to do yet, but I'm hoping to do and learn how to do in the future is do polls. So that way I can say, folks, what do we think? And then however many people are in the chat, they can vote on anything from course of action, like, hey, let's move north instead of going south, or something similar to, just something similar to that. So that way you guys get to help make the decisions here. Sometimes we've seen that I've used the dice roll to help make decisions when I don't think it really matters tactically what I should do. I think that there's some opportunity where I could invite chat to help me play just a little bit more sometimes. And I know that there's some games where there's a Twitch integration where chat can make certain things happen in the game, like horror games. Chat can decide that FixFox has it a little too easy, and you can make something horrible spawn and just ruin my day. I'm a little scared to give you guys that power, but in the interest of keeping things fun, I'm happy to do it. So if I can find a game where we can do something like that, that'd be pretty fun. Also, alternatively, Jackbox. I just think Jackbox with chat would actually be a really kind of fun deal, because a lot of the games don't actually require anything more than just being able to type out an answer. And hopefully I could be a good enough host that it would still be very, very fun, even if it got a little bit off track. And I say that because I think that we all know that FixFox gets just a little bit off track more often than not. What can I say? I've got pluses and minuses to me being me, and maybe that's one of them. I get off track just a little tiny bit sometimes. Okay, as you can see, the mass slow is going to be pretty darn useful as we're picking our way through these trolls. I do think I'm going to lose some skeletons. No, orc chiefs. Interesting. They're going to take out the rest of this top stack, and I almost wanted to hit auto combat. If I hit auto combat, I'm going to lose a vampire. So let's not do that. For a second, I thought to myself, what could be hurt? How could that hurt to just hit auto combat? And then I realized, wait, no. Assume that the worst thing that could possibly happen would happen. As we've already seen, that's just the reality of what we're dealing with the Heroes2 gold. And that's fine. We love it for what it is, and we're grateful that we get to play it. Remember, we do have the brown tent here. We do not actually need to go pick that up, but in the interest of being thorough, we shall. And Zam is making his way up to our friend, the Beastmaster, so they can trade off some artifacts and such. In fact, Zam may... Let's see. Zam probably should have taken these troops from Carlon. Probably should have. Maybe I can find a town up here instead, and then after I find this town up here, I can get Beastmaster over there, and I can make the trade a little bit more effective. Let's try and find one more town that's a little bit closer. There's plenty to explore on this map. You have found a goblin weaponsmithy making weapons for use against humans. With a tremendous yell, you and your army descend upon their camp and drive them away. A search finds a magic ore cart that never runs out of iron. +1 ore per day, very happy for that. And lots of cyclopes. You are just fodder. Poor gentleman, poor gentleman. And Christina does say, let's do this, sounds good. Are there any more mage guilds to build? I believe that right now I have towns that cannot be upgraded. I don't think that I actually have any more castles. I think I only have one castle. Maybe the Dragon Master's castle. Maybe that's gonna be the first opportunity I actually have to slow them down a little bit and deal with them. Good question. I don't know the answer to that. Let me get back to you in just half of a moment. But I think I only have towns and the one castle. So for a level 5 mage guild, we already mentioned why Resurrect True is kind of bad. We're using a lot of Necromancy troops, and Resurrect True does not work on them. And then also we have some problems with it because the other forces that we might want to use do include dragons. And dragons, of course, are immune to magic. For better or for worse, they are immune to magic. So Resurrect True, of all the different 5th level spells we could have gotten, I'm happy for it, but not ideal. So be it. And then, darn, Dimension Door would be so useful here. Yeah, I think that we're going to be able to probably pick it up at some point. We have seen at least one pyramid on the map somewhere. 1, 2, 3. So maybe we head for the desert fairly quickly. Yeah, maybe we head for the desert. We're going to try that. Oh, look at this. You confront Wormenthal, Lord of the Warlocks. Art thou the interloper, of which the great drakes speak? The slayer of dragons, and the banisher of the undead. Buddy, I am the undead. His voice booms from the castle ahead. If thou art here for the treasures of old, thy quest is at an end. But so is thy life. His grim visage hangs before your armies, inspiring dread. Tell you what, the alchemists that you find are gonna get a lot of use trying to get these Fizbins off of us. In fact, okay, here's a question for you. How does the battle garb interact with this Fizbin? You get max morale. Like, when does the negative morale from the Fizbin come into effect? Again, doesn't matter for the undead, but just a question that I have. Okay, moving on. And then, as we're carrying on through another gold mine, I almost wonder if I should avoid that gold mine. We're already up to 34,000 gold. Oh wait, 1 million is not gonna be that. Never mind, I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Although, here's tons of gold here. This scenario might be much easier than I gave it credit for. I think that we did the math at one point. We're getting 16,000 gold per day. How long does it take with 16,000 gold per day? Somebody else do the math for me. I don't want to do it myself, but do 1 million divided by 16,000 to tell us how many days it's going to take for us to get to 1 million just based off of our passive income. Do me that favor. Let me know kind of where we're at, because we're a little more than 100 days into the scenario. I'm just interested to find out. How good are we doing? How much do I need to worry about gold? How many treasure chests can I take for experience as opposed to gold? Questions that I have. Let's see, trolls here, and then there's this up here. I'm going to continue to explore north. I like that there's a road here. We have a sign that says the Shrine of the 3rd level. Yes, that is exactly what that is. I will go through this Horde of Magi. Yeah, let's see. I am going to have the Power Liches as a 6-speed creature. Do I have the Mast slow? I think I do. Yeah, I do have the Mast slow, so that's going to help me fight this fight a little bit better. It just isn't ideal. Of course, all of this depends on whether or not FixFox can actually click where he means to click. Again, things to consider, questions I have. Can we do it? Maybe. We will see. Okay. Another one of these fights where it's going to be an awful lot of issue trying to fight these fights as effectively and quickly as we can. Sometimes we do better than others. I worry, let's see, am I going to end up roasting myself here? No, it looks like not. There's no way for these Magi to do a double hex attack from my red dragons onto my bone dragons, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. And then this top stack of 8, or rather 6, we're not going to hurt ourselves with the Power Liches here. We're going to destroy them with archers. We're going to call it a day and get out of there. Rice Ruin says that that's about 62 days, not accounting for the 320k gold that you currently have. Perfect. Okay, we're totally on track then. I'm not worried about it at all. And then Sir Bamut, nice to have you there. Nice to have you here in the chat. First time I've had you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're playing some Colossal Cavern and having so much fun doing it. I don't really know what your little emote is, but it looks nifty to me. Is that from Heroes or is that from a different game? Help me understand what that is. I'm very interested in that. And then Bearded Man does also follow through with taking your existing amount of gold into account and assuming you don't spend any gold, it's 42 days. Okay, so let's be careful. I don't want to trade at a bad rate now with just my one marketplace. Let me get up to at least a trading post level of trading, and then we're going to try and diversify our funds into precious resources. I've been told that that's a good strategy. We will find out. We will see. It's one of those things where, am I currently working on retirement? Yes, I am. But could I be doing better? Yes, I could. If I had Heroes of Might and Magic 2 gold levels of retirement funds stacking up, I could probably retire in the next 5 weeks. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. Okay, before us appears a levitating glass case with a scroll perched upon a bed of crimson velvet. At your touch, the lid opens and the scroll floats into your awaiting hands, +2 to the knowledge. But that's actually a question for you. If you won the lottery or if somebody gave you a life-changing amount of money, would you still work? If you never had to work another day in your life to make ends meet, would you still work just because you would get bored, or you would say to yourself that it's actually good for you to work? It's a question that I think that a lot of people have to ask themselves. I know that people ask themselves that question a lot when it comes down to winning the lottery, for example. I am not in that boat. I'm not worrying about it. I'm not making $1 million, but I would like to think that if I did win the lottery, that I would have to say to myself, look, I don't think I can be trusted with that much money and that much free time. I think it's always going to be better for me, unfortunately, to work. As much as I hate to say it, I don't think I should ever be my own boss, and I don't think that I should ever retire early. Hopefully by the time that I am at retirement age, I will be wise enough to be able to fill my free time with good things. We will see. We will see. Last Gasp Village. This isn't a village, this is an arena, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Oh, Boryuser's in the chat. Hello, FixFox. Hello, Boryuser. Nice to have you there. FixFox wife says hello, chat, from Fix Wife and the Fix Kids. I got to tell you, one of the Fix Kids is, well, they're both wonderful. I'm really happy to have 2 wonderful kids. I'm grateful for my kids. They're fantastic. But one of them was naughty this morning. I bought him something very special. It was a Capri Sun sort of a deal. It was like a liquid in a pouch, and you stick the straw in and you squeeze it. And yeah, I mean, you know, it's kind of more of a treat. It's not something he should plan on getting all the time, but he got it today or last night. And this stinker, he decided it was funner to just take the Capri Sun and squeeze so that the liquid just goes shooting out. He came in to my bedroom this morning like 2 or 3 times, be like, hey, can you help me put the straw in through this Capri Sun for this new one? He did that 2, 3, 4 times, and each time I'm like, wow, this kid's just like just chugging through these things. No. He was stabbing them and he was squeezing them, and he thought that they were funny. He is a good kid, but I'm gonna tell that story at his wedding, and I hope that his wife understands, like, hey, you're getting yourself into a little bit of deep waters here. This kid can be a stinker if he wants to. Hopefully by the time he gets married, he will have grown out of it. We'll see. I don't know. But I'm still telling that story one way or the other. We've come upon a mercenary camp, practicing their tactics. The mercenaries welcome you and your troops and invite you to train with them. That's going to be +1 to our attack skill. It's lovely. And we're going to still kind of head out in this direction. We're going to save these troops, hopefully that they will join us later. Mother Astor's going to pick up another 1,000 gold. And I don't know, maybe there's more to explore over here. I guess I missed these centaur caves. I guess she can go do that. Interesting. We will see. We will see. Okay, and then Boryuser says, I wouldn't. You wouldn't want to retire early. I would, same thing as I would do for work, but for myself. Oh, so right now you're working for somebody else. And so you would like to strike out on your own, as it were. That's a really good idea. So what I take that to mean is that you like what you do right now. You would still like to continue to do that thing that's made you so happy, and you would just do it in a different way. That's a very interesting and very kind of, I don't know, call it mature type of way of approaching that. I think that that's a great idea. I like that. Do you mind me asking what you do for work? You don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but I'm always interested to know what people are doing. And then Rise to Ruin says, hello to everyone joining us. Hey, murder hobo and kiddos. Of course, my wife is a murder hobo. Whenever we play Dungeons and Dragons, that's just who she is. That's her personality. No NPC is safe. Happy weekend to all. And then Bearded Man continues, says, I am sure that I would still keep working in a way or one way or another. Not working sounds like a dream to most, but that's a life that just feels so meaningless. The most people who endure it succumb to addictions and depression. You know, I think that there's a lot to be said about that. Yeah, I think that there's a lot to be said about that because, yeah, it sounds so good on paper. But then when you really get down to what that means like, what am I getting up for? What am I doing for myself? We are creatures of habit, and if your habits are just falling apart because you don't have anywhere to be or anything to do, that's a little bit of a problem. I kind of wonder for the people that do like professional streaming who wake up at 2 p.m. and then go stream. I mean, I don't know. Are you guys happy? Like, are they happy? I hope that they are. I hope that they're living the life and having a good time, but I wonder if they're really happy. I truly do. Couldn't really be good for you. And then, let's see. Clayman also says, yeah, kids usually do that just for fun. My daughter is a prime example. So yeah, you've got some stories too, where your kids are wonderful kids, lovely children, but also they just do odd things that just make messes. Thankfully, my kid has not made a mess that we couldn't fix yet. I worry in the event that he sometimes or someday makes a mistake that's like a really big deal. I haven't had something like that yet. Everything that's happened is not a problem. It's just part of learning. And I would rather him make mistakes now than never make a mistake and not learn how to fix it or not learn how to move forward through it. I'm glad that we're making mistakes now, but still a little bit frustrating as a parent when you're not ready to parent that at 7 in the morning and you're like, oh great, I'm going to sleep in today. Nope. Psych. Winnie Morrow's in the chat. Winnie Morrow, nice to have you here in the chat. Welcome, welcome. I appreciate having you here. Always a pleasure. Winnie Morrow, by the way, how is your playthrough going for the Castlevania type game? Hopefully things are going very, very well for you in that other game. What's it called? Oh, I forget what it's called. You play a lot of Inscription. You play a lot of Oddworld. Forget what the new Castlevania side scroller is. Hopefully that's going well for you. Let me know how it's going for you. I think that we need the mana here. Yeah, we were down to like 60. Back up to 170 feels pretty good. Throng of Cyclops, I'm very intrigued with this jail. Throng of Cyclops feels like a lot, but especially when we have the opportunity to go pick up maybe another fun hero, that's part of the fun in this scenario. Mast Slow is going to help this fight go very, very well. And we might as well just start blowing these guys apart. I wonder if 280 archers with 17 attack, I wonder if they kill one full stack of Cyclops. I don't think so. But we're going to see if we can find out. Going to get a nice AoE attack off in just a moment with the Liches. Okay, we killed 23 Cyclops with 280 archers. Good to know. Good to know. Good luck. Tons of damage. And then otherwise, I think we're just going to sit and stay. Kill this big stack. Oh, geez. That'll do it. 3,700 damage. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. I'm still going to skip one more time. These slow Cyclops are not going to get too close to me. We're going to kill this top stack mostly. I say mostly. There was no guarantee. And then we're going to call it a day. Okay, we're going to do something dangerous here. We're going to hit auto combat. Okay. I wasn't sure how that could go wrong, but I was almost sure that it would go wrong somehow. You see, I got trust issues because of this game. We're going to pick up +1 defense skill for our hero Zam. We're happy to actually have that. We're going to try and go through this gazebo. 1,000 experience there. We're going to come back for this. Nice use of the flowers to make something pretty to look at. If not pretty, at least something unique and interesting. It looks like these trolls are actually guarding the way into this area. Jail, Brown Traveler's Tent, and another castle. This castle is actually a big deal. Why is this castle a big deal? This is another opportunity at a mage guild. And a mage guild level 5 nonetheless. So we're going to send Beastmaster there as quickly as he possibly can go. Because he's got the 11 bone dragons, the 39 vampire lords. great force, great force. He's just a monster out there. And so he's going to go handle that, but another castle could never do me any harm. Never, never. Okay. Looks like it's going to be 52 of these centaurs here. More and more and more. Maybe we leave with about 200, 250 centaurs. And maybe Mother Astor can clear out some of these other things that, you know, something that 160 halflings would have done. Maybe Mother Astor is able to do better for us. Okay, our banker informs us that our monthly interest payment is due. 10k gold is gone. Ah, my brother, what a fool he was. Which is hilarious because it's the exact opposite about how I feel about my other brothers. My other brothers are pretty fantastic. I'm grateful I get to spend quality time with them. Just good people. I feel like I come from a good family. I know that everybody's family situation is different, and if yours is not ideal, then I'm always sorry for that. I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm pretty grateful for the family that I do have. All good people. Okay, Hobbiton, we're going to ignore that. Let's go see if we can find some more troops. With a couple more halflings, maybe I can get through these rogues. We will see. We're going to wait for Luckenbach. We're continuing on here. And Dwarf Cottage, I don't want to pick that up just yet. I just don't care too much. Do not care. And then let's see. Warrior says, oh, I'm a mechanical engineer. I design parts and help with production for different machines and appliances, currently refrigerators. That would be a wonderful business to kind of go into for yourself. Yeah, I could see that. Do you mind me asking what's holding you back from going into business for yourself? I'm sure I've got friends that do things like HVAC, where it's like the heating and cooling and the inside kind of a deal. I know that's not what you're doing here, but they talked about trying to branch out on their own, and things that hold them back are things like tools. It's things like licensure and being bonded, rules and regulations with their chosen profession. And so I wonder if that's similar to your situation where you're saying, yeah, I'd love to do it on my own, but there's all these little barriers. I wonder if you've thought about what those barriers are. Because, yeah, anytime you can work for yourself, that just sounds like a good time. That sounds good. Yeah, interested to know what challenges there are for you. And then Winnie Morrow says, oh, it's Blasphemous 2. Yes. Okay, so Blasphemous is the name of the side scroller that Winnie Morrow has been playing recently. And it is a Castlevania type. It looks like it's a lot of fun. It looks way fun because it's so smooth. Just as I've observed it, Winnie Morrow, that's what I've seen, is it looks like it's just a really smooth playing game. Sometimes the older games, they're good, they're quality, but if it's jittery and the hitboxes don't feel good, that feels hard to play. It looks like Blasphemous does pretty good for you. But yes, it's really cool to do, even if the game is sometimes cruel, but that's part of the experience. That seems very fair to me. I wonder, do you ever play that kind of game? And Winnie Morrow, yes, this map is absolutely huge. No, I've never really played a side scroller. I mean, on my own time as a kid, I've played everything from Sonic to, you know, I think I have played Castlevania at some point. Golden Axe. Yeah, Golden Axe. That one's an all-time classic, but it's not really in the same vein as Castlevania. So I like side scrollers. I do enjoy platformers. One of my all-time favorite games was the Apogee Games version of Duke Nukem, the very, very like original Duke Nukem before it was 3D. That game was childhood. Again, not the same as Castlevania, but fun all the same. I am Lord Balmore of the Mountain Kingdom. I say to you, heed, it is not inevitable that we fight. If you have the might and the magic to brave the flames of Gyrodur, Forge of the Gods, you will find a way to bypass my wrath and be welcomed into Gyrodam, the city before you. Or you could just die. You've got nothing. What? Is this like, did this guy just try to roll Intimidation? I think that this is like Fallout, and the guy just tried to roll Intimidation, and I think it was just a critical failure. I'm sorry, I'm not scared of your throng of dwarves or your lots of your elves. What's in the castle behind you? Yeah, no, it's no. Critical failure. Critical failure. Oh, let's see. So we are going to get the Mast slow, just so that way I can get a little bit of a better hit off on these elves. My archers and my power liches are going to blast them from afar. And then once those ranged threats are eliminated, I'm hoping that the elves, or rather the archers, can defeat these elves. That'll solve all my problems. Yep, no problems from here on out. Skip, 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 skip. Oh, haste. Interesting. Well, 100 dwarves killed 1 lich. Nice. Very nice. And 3 archers. So that fight actually went a little bit differently than I thought it would. Crystal Ball, I like that artifact. Hideous Mask, I hate that one. Spell Scroll, I wonder what that is. I'm trying to right click on these, but it's not giving me information. Mass Haste. Okay, I think I already have Mass Haste. No, I have Mass Slow from my main castle. Yeah, we have Mass Slow. So actually the Mass Haste is good. I like having both of those. But we are going to fight in this castle up here after we pick up these standing stones. Look at this. Trunk of Treasure, Ancient Lamps. There's plenty of nice things to be had. Plenty of nice things to be had. And then I am going to hit auto combat on this one. I don't know how I could possibly mess this up. And then Winnie Morrow says Golden Axe. Oh, Winnie Morrow loves Golden Axe. Good, good. Yeah, Golden Axe is just an all-time favorite. And it's just iconic, really. Every now and again on Steam, they will have... Oh, good, we didn't lose a vampire. Every now and then on Steam, they have sales, and I really liked it. I got the entire bundle for all of the old... Is it NES? No, not NES. What is it called? Hold on. Now I got to pull this up. Now I got to just check for myself. Oh, the Sega Mega Drive, the Genesis, all of the Genesis games. Wonderful bundle. Golden Axe is included in that. Streets of Rage, Vector Man, Shining Force 1 and 2. It was a really good pickup from Steam. I was really pretty happy with it. Some of those old games just tickle my heart in a wonderful way. So maybe they do for you as well. Who can say? Who can say? Ooh. Ooh, that feels pretty good. Mass Bless, nice. Anti-magic, that could be critically important. Fire Blast, Holy Shout. Ghosts, better look out. We got the Holy Shout. And then is this upgradable? It's not. That's a lot of dwarves. That's a lot of elves. Not enough to really replace 100 elves versus the 277 archers. I don't think that that's enough to replace the archers. No, it is, because they're very slow. 277 very slow archers versus 100 4-speed elves. That's actually a big deal. That's actually a big deal. So we're going to be a little bit less effective in combat, I feel like. 2 to 3 damage, 2 to 3 damage, double shot. And the attack skill is actually lower. Archers start off with 5 attack skill, and elves only start off with 4. Interesting, I had no idea. So we're going to be a little bit more effective because of the double shot, but interesting. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Really, this is a choice made for speed, is what this is really about. Interesting. Okay, cool. And then over here, I'm going to find another castle. So Zam is going to continue to maybe roll up through this purple barrier, and we're going to find nice things in a moment or two. And then let's see. Rice Druin says to Boreas, mech engineering nerds unite. I work in oil country, so lots of industrial machinery, repairs, manufacturing, mostly bearings. Yeah, tell you what, you gearheads are some of my favorite people because you guys have skills that I just don't. I have no head for this kind of mechanical tinkering, and so every single time somebody can fix a machine very, very well and they can kind of see how it works from start to finish, I'm always very impressed. And if there's any electrical involved, it might as well be magic. I understand kind of how electricity works, but really, when it comes down to making sure that I don't get shocked to death as I'm trying to, I don't know, rewire a house or fix a vehicle that has some weird sensor that's bugged or something, yeah, no, I'm going to leave that to you professionals. And then Boreas does follow up with that. It's not that I would want to go for my business. If I wouldn't worry about money, I would just design and build contraptions I or somebody could use for fun. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. So it'd be more about the fun. Okay. I'm just not built for taking the responsibility, managing someone or something. I would take blame for every mistake somebody under me would make. That's a very, very important thing to kind of know about ourselves. I mentioned earlier that I should never be my own boss. I just know that about myself. Yeah, I think that's just an important thing to say. Hey, I know that maybe I shouldn't be the boss because of this reason where I would take it a little bit too hard. I think that there's no shame in that. So I appreciate that very, very much. A kindred spirit, if ever there was one. So, but again, interesting to be able to play with the machinery with low stress, low pressure. And it's probably the reason why you got into that field in the beginning is that you enjoy, I imagine, that field. You enjoy the mechanical contraptions and the tinkering. yeah, I would love to be able to see you continue to do that on your own with no pressure. That would be very, very nice. That would be very, very nice. Okay, 10 more skeletons. And what do you think, folks? Should we go through these greater druids for 2 treasure chests and some mercury? I think not. I could. I just don't want to. Ooh, the Goblin King. Well, I see the bones of your enemies littered across this barren wasteland, sir. I think that we are headed towards an inevitable conflict. Very, very sad. Okay. And then Bearded Man says, only way this works out for him is if it just happens to be some really powerful Armageddon. Oh yeah, for that previous hero, the one that was trying to roll for Intimidation. Yeah, actually a really powerful Armageddon would have done it. I'm happy to report that that did not happen, because if it does happen, then we just lose. and at this point, I'm acting as if I'm feeling very comfortable in this scenario. I am acting as if the scenario is well in hand. It might not be. We still probably have plenty of difficult things to deal with in the future. We haven't run into those yet, but I'm sure that we will find many more things that are going to cause us problems in the near future. Oh, speaking of which, isn't this interesting? I thought that we could go through this area to get to the purple barrier. Looks like not. Yeah, looks like you got to go through this purple barrier to get to these 2 artifacts, but they're on the other side. So not a problem, not a problem. I think I'm just going to continue to explore a little bit before I make this big sweep, or this big swap here. Beastmaster is being very effective where he is at. Zam is being very effective where he's at. It doesn't hurt my heart to try and just be effective separately but together. And Boreaser does say electrics and electronics is also magic for me. Just pure mechanical principles. I appreciate that joke landed, because I worry sometimes that people be like, Fox, do you really not know how electricity works? And like, yeah, I understand. Like, I get the gist of it, but it might as well be magic when it comes to actually adjusting it. And I know my lane. I know my lane. At no point am I ever going to try and rewire a house, because I don't want to die from electrocution. I just know my limits. That's fine. What's the best way of fighting this fight? Let's take out the war trolls. Let's see. 343. Tell you what, how about we just do it like this? Let's do the Mast slow. That can never be bad. And then hopefully the Orc Chiefs are going to be just faster than the very slow trolls. Yeah, they're going to be just faster. In fact, I think I might as well attack these goblins here, just because. I don't know. I didn't stop to realize just how tough we are. Unless he's got a haste on the Ogre Lords, then we're fine. They're going to go 1 speed. I might as well attack them, kill most of them. Sure, why not? Why not? And we'll call it a day. Skip, kill, and get us out of there. But I think that was the meme a while ago, right? It was from the Insane Clown Posse. It's the musical group from the 90s and the early 2000s. If you know who the Insane Clown Posse is, they have the white and black clown makeup, and I think that their fans are called Juggalos. Somebody needs to fact check me on that, but I'm pretty sure that that's who they're known as. And their line, their meme was, magnets, how do those work? And since then, the lead singer has had to come out and be like, guys, I know how magnets work. I was trying to convey the fact that sometimes there's a sense of wonder and magic that we just don't understand how things work. Like, he was trying to make a point in the song, and everybody was just dunking on him like, dude, the internet is a thing. You can go find out how magnets work if you really want to. Electricity, Fox? Come on, man. You can go figure out how electricity works if you really want to. Yes, I can. I just haven't yet. Someday. Okay, carrying on. Let's see. Tar Pits here. Beastmaster here. I don't know. I really want these 2 heroes still to be in different parts of the world. I don't know how I'm going to combine these armies. So long as they're being effective, I'm going to let them continue to go, but I'm pretty sure that at some point soon, I'm going to feel bad about having both of these heroes in this area of the world, because then the Beastmaster is going to have to spend several days getting to the front where the action is. How about I explore this chamber with Zam, and then he's going to go and teleport back over to the 3 villas, probably to Ghoul Town. And then maybe by then the Horde of Power Liches or the vampire lords will want to join him. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Let's do that. Okay. Moving on. I wonder if purple knows how much danger they're in. They just take their turns so quickly. I wonder if they know. Okay. And then let's see. Oh, He Thought Q. Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you here. We're playing some Colossal Caverns, having tons of fun. You're saying finally caught a Fixed Fox stream. Generally, I try and do either Fridays or Saturdays. It's been a lot of Saturdays recently. Unfortunately, if it's Friday, if I get the Friday off, which sometimes I do, I try and work a 4-day work week. I try to work 4 10s. If I am able to play on Fridays, sometimes I'm able, but I'm not in the right headspace. Like, I need that day to kind of catch my breath and be okay. So today was a day where Saturdays just make a little bit more sense sometimes. 147 ghosts. For Zam? 147 ghosts. It seems like a lot. I mean, if the Earth Elementals are here, I don't know. I know I've got the genies. I feel like... Wait, what are they guarding? What are 147 ghosts guarding? Town? Okay. Chernobyl. Snakes everywhere. Gotcha. It's green, so it's toxic. Okay, all right. 147 ghosts. When I have 100 elves in my army, even though I do have the 18 defense, I just don't know if I have enough pressure to bring these guys down. I do have the Mast slow. And I got plenty of spell points. Okay, we're going to fight this fight. It's not going to be as pretty as I would like it, but we're going to make this work. Yeah, and 4 stacks of 37 is okay. Yeah, that seems fine to me. Okay, Mast low. That makes this fight so much more winnable. Let's go to the very bottom of the map. Let's cover up these gentlemen here. And we're going to see if the ghosts want bone dragons or if they want somebody else. Do we kill one full stack? Get out of here. We kill one full stack at a time. It's fine. We're okay. Let's just remember that sometimes Fixed Fox overthinks things. But I'd like to think that that's actually a skill and not like a drawback. Like, that's a strength and not a weakness. Because yeah, I overthink things, and sometimes I'm right and sometimes I'm wrong, but at least it keeps me safe. Keeps me safe. How about that? But anyway, he thought, by the way, back to that. Yes, very happy to have you here on a Saturday. Not always can we guarantee that it's going to be a Saturday or a Friday, but as often as possible. I love to do these streams, and I'm very happy to have you here. Welcome. Welcome. Colossal Caverns, XL map, tons of players, tons of riches, tons of very exciting things. I'm having a bunch of fun, and I hope that you're going to have a bunch of fun too. Boreaser continues on and says, my grandfather was an iron worker, and he taught me that when you were young in school, then he retired, and when he was the village repairman, a golden hand, as we Poles call it. Interesting. Okay. I love that there is a level of distinction in your community for the people that are very good with their hands and very good mechanically, as there ought to be, recognizing people's skill. So you call them golden hands. Interesting. And that's when I was interested with that, not only with how those things are repaired and how they work and how they are made. And that's why I'm here. I love that story. I love that story. I mean, one of the things I talk about often with Heroes is how we get into this game. Many of us saw a family member playing this wonderful game, and we wanted to play it, and we've enjoyed it. How do you get into things that matter even more? For example, your career. Like, that's a very important thing. How do people get into their careers? And for you, it was much the same way, where you were seeing somebody who you respected and what they were doing, you appreciated it, and you carried on from there. So I love that. I love that story very, very much. Not always is it easy to follow in somebody else's footsteps, and I know that there's a lot of self-definition we have to go through, but I'm glad you had a good example in your life like that. That's great. Good stuff. Good stuff. And then Rice Ruin says, I remember in my teen years trying to fix an oven outlet. Am I about to hear that you're about to get electrocuted? Are we about to be grateful, Rise to Ruin, that you're still alive? I'm a little bit afraid to continue the story. Trying to fix an outlet, tried to use a pipe wrench to crimp the red wire. A tiny explosion and a few blown fuses later, the decision was made that maybe I don't mess with magic pixies in the wall. Hence mechanical engineering. That is a good story. I love every part of that story. My favorite part of that story is where you didn't die. Call me crazy, but that's my favorite part of the story. This little town is kind of fun with hydras and captain's quarters, 500 gold per day. Yeah, I like it. I'm glad we went out of our way. Good stuff. Good stuff all around. I'm having a fun time. I hope you guys are all having a fun time too. Let's see. Beastmaster. I don't know, Beastmaster. You should probably just go take this town. Anna Bang. Okay, what is the reference for Anna Bang? Does anyone know? So, actually, Charles Watkins, who created Colossal Cavern, also created the map Ghost Planet 1.1. In case you're unaware, if you sail to the east in the desert, there is a hero with the portrait of Gwyneth the Knight who has the name of Anna Bang. Now it's Joe Josh as a barbarian, but still has the name Anna Bang. I wonder if this is some reference that is particularly special to Charles Watkins, or I don't know, maybe there's more to it, but just interesting to see that there's some similarities from the one scenario to the other. Who is this mysterious Anna Bang, and who are they to Charles Watkins? I don't know the answer, but I'm always very interested to find out. For that reason, by the way, I mentioned a while ago that I had sent an email to Mr. Timothy Duncan because he included his email address on the Thunk scenario. I never have gotten a response back. I'm very sad. I'm very sad. I hope that I would get the opportunity someday to actually get to talk to some of these old map designers and creators. I just think that would be fun. That would be really fun to get to hear what their thoughts are on Heroes of Might and Magic in general and how things have changed, because I'm sure that they've, I don't know, I would assume that they're still fans of the series. Oftentimes, once you're a fan of Heroes of Might and Magic, you don't stop being a fan. Like, really, you kind of continue to enjoy it, and even if you don't play it all the time, you're still a fan of the series. So I'd be very interested to know how some of these early map designers feel about the state of the game, and maybe about their thoughts with Heroes of Might and Magic 2, FHeroes2, things like that. Just things I'd be interested to know what their thoughts are. Let's see, +2 gems. Mother Astor's continuing on. I wonder if at some point I shouldn't drop down and try to only use like 3 or 4 heroes. It seems like some of these heroes are a little bit useless for me. For example, there's no need for me to go back for this water wheel here or here anymore. I think I'm fine. I'm almost at... Yeah, we're doing pretty good on the gold at the moment, in case you haven't noticed. I'm a little scared that any additional gold we take is going to be just more gold I have to trade away later. But it might make the scenario go a little bit faster if I avoided picking up some other amounts of gold and just stuck to 1 hero or 2 heroes or something like that. We'll see. We'll see. Bearded Man, with the question for Anna Bang. Maybe Anna Bang means in a bang. In a bang. In a bang. Possibly. In a bang. It wouldn't be like a sexual reference like wanna bang, would it? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just interested. I have no idea. I can't possibly fathom. But if it's like a play on words sort of a deal, that would make probably the most sense. So, okay. You see, but this is why I have to have Mr. Charles Watkins here to explain himself. Sir, if you are ever hearing the sound of my voice, please reach out to me at therealfixfox@gmail.com. You can direct all business to therealfixfox@gmail.com. Okay. West equals Temple of the Forge. North equals the dungeon level 3. South is the Skara Pit. Cool. And looks like we're gonna have another paladin fight here for this graveyard. We'll consider going through this gold barrier in a moment, but we are back to the legend of the Templar grave. The Knights Templar take their name from the Temple of King Solomon, whose precincts they were stationed to protect during the turmoil of the Crusades. Their highly developed code of honor prevented any Templar from retreating in battle. Some say this was to assure the morale of the Templars and prevent their use in a lost cause. Others say it is because the Templars' charter did not allow ransom for captives. If I attack, they're gonna try and run, right? some charter you fellows have. My goodness. Do I want to engage them? Tell you what, let's let them run and keep their hearts at peace. I don't want them to struggle any more than they have to. I don't know if I should pick up this graveyard right now or not. I don't know. Maybe I'll run into another artifact that I need. But I also know I'm not going to remember to come back to this graveyard. Like if I don't fight this fight, I will forget that I still need to walk by this graveyard, because FHeroes2, of course, has the little handy helpful tip that says visited or not visited. No such luck when it comes to Heroes 2 original. So unfortunately, even though we're about to be very, very much out of artifact slots, I'm still going to fight this fight now. Less than ideal. I just don't trust myself in the event that I have to come back later. So what is the artifact? Heart of Fire. I consider that a cursed artifact. I know that you get 50% protection from, looks like, fire spells, but knowing that cold spells are doubled, I mean, I think that there's more cold spells than fire spells in the game. I think we've had this conversation. Cold Ray, Cold Ring versus Fireball, Fire Blast. But the thing is that the fire spells are like higher tiered. If it prevented damage from Armageddon or Elemental Storm, that would be different, but it doesn't. So cold spells, I would prefer the Heart of Ice personally. And Bearded Man says it is 2 cold spells and 2 fire spells. Okay, so either way, you're going to have a little bit of issue, but one way or the other, it is what it is. Let's see, Temple of the Forge, nothing else to see here. You can turn back now, or just enjoy level 3. Just don't go west. There's lava all over and a really scary head, but no way out. So it's really best for you to turn back, see? That just makes me want to explore further, so we're going to. And then H. Umbarak was mentioning to Rise to Ruin that he just fixed his new ovens plug yesterday, but had to consult a trained acquaintance to make it work. Even when I was sure I had it right, I'm still scared that it will release its smoke. Yes. Yes. And how do you guys pay your friends for their expertise? I've had a person or two in my life who are very good with vehicles when I'm not. And for those people, generally I ask them before they help me with a vehicle or something. I say, hey, by the way, what do you want for payment? Number one, I make sure I say that because I don't want them to feel like I'm just taking for granted their skills and strategies. He thought Q, you beat me to it. Sometimes the lowest price I've ever had a mechanic friend ask for, he's like, dude, just buy me one of the white monsters and we'll call it even. And he helped me for like 2 hours. I felt bad about that one, but he thought says pay them with pizza. Absolutely. Paid with pizza. If you're going to have friends help you move from one residence to the other, or if they're going to help you with cars, or if they're going to give you some like legal advice or something, yeah. Pizza is not a bad way to go, because it at least says, hey, I love you, I appreciate you, and I want you to be happy and well fed. What's wrong with that? Nothing. Oh, and Boreaster says, with the most traditional Polish currency between friends, alcohol. What is the alcohol of choice? Let's see. I do not know the answer to that. What would be the alcohol that you would recommend giving to a friend? Because there's like top shelf alcohol, there's bottom shelf alcohol. I don't personally drink alcohol. I come from a family where it's not a good idea for me to get started with drinking. If I start, I probably won't ever stop. But that doesn't mean that I don't understand a couple of nuances with drinking. For example, I do know that you can take bottom shelf vodka and run it through a strainer multiple times and turn it into top shelf vodka. That's what friends of mine have said. I'm sure that you're not giving your friend bottom shelf vodka. I don't know. I don't know what the alcohol of choice is, but I'm interested to know. Okay, we do have 252 of these centaurs now. Ghosts, creatures here, creatures here. I think I just want to go back, defeat these forces, and then hop in the boat. That's the whole reason why I came back to these centaurs. And now Mother Astor is pretty much useless. Unless she can get by in this direction. Here to here. She's going to go back up in this direction for later. On to a new day. And then did I miss anybody in chat? Let me just make sure. Nope. Too cold. Okay. Did not miss anybody in chat, so that's good. And then, let's see. Bamut mentioned to Rise to Ruin about the Dimension Door. Yep. If we find it, we're going to use it, just so we're all on the same page. This scenario is the exact right scenario to use Dimension Door. By the way, we are halfway to our gold goal with 500,000. So that's pretty good. Pretty good. Just got to keep an eye out on that. And then Rise to Ruin says to H. Imbrock, I hope that the angry pixies spare you, my friend. But hey, glass half full, free smoked food. Worst case, you share the fate of the halflings. Yeah, but the halflings became spare short ribs for themselves. That is absolutely worst case scenario. You're right. Yeah, that's worst case scenario. Let's not do that if we can possibly help it. And then Boreasur says middle shelf or that kind. If you know the friend, what they like and enjoy. Ladder for bonus points. I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. It would be as if you had a big faux pas. If you were to have a friend, for example, that was vegan or vegetarian and you got them a meat lover's pizza, same thing for alcohol, I'm sure. If you know what they like and what they enjoy, just get them what they like. Just get them what they like. That's what I'm hearing from you. Good stuff. Good stuff. Don't give the vegetarian meat. For some reason, they don't enjoy that. Who would have thought? Is there anybody who's vegetarian here? I just need to know in case I ever have a barbecue. I don't want to invite you to something that would not be your favorite thing. I've never been vegan. I've never been vegetarian. I've had several friends that are in both ways, but I have tried the carnivore diet in the past. It was more along the same lines as me trying to do, for example, keto, where you do very, very, very low carb. Long story short, I don't think that dieting really necessarily is a good idea for me because I tend to stick with it very, very strongly for 2 months. And I do lose a lot of weight whenever I do one of those kind of specialized diets, but I think it impacts my health in a lot of negative other ways. I think I'm best off just trying to do my best to not compromise on my health by putting out entire food groups. Who would have thought that that's actually a terrible idea? Let's see. And then Ladder 15. Hello, Ladder 15. Nice to have you back in the chat. Welcome. Happy to have you here. Says, hey out everyone. And Boreasur says, I mean that there is a saying that in Poland that for every 0.5 liters of vodka, you will make everything work. For 50 zoils, which is the cost of about 3/4 of a liter of vodka, you won't make anything work. So there's diminishing returns. Maybe you get the work done first and then you pay them. Is that what I'm hearing? Pay them with the vodka after they've already done that. Because yeah, at a certain point, nothing gets done depending on how much vodka there is. That makes sense. Okay, we just had a bit of an unfortunate deal there. The Cyclopes did get to attack our Bone Dragons. We lost about 7. I don't have Animate Dead. I'm just gonna have to suffer with my poor decisions here. I will kill the rest of these trolls. I got 15 anyway. Ooh, this hero's actually kind of tough. We're gonna win, don't get me wrong, but that was more Bone Dragons I really wanted to lose. Ouch. Do we have? Yeah, we don't have any Animate Dead or anything. Let's just do Steelskin on the Vampire Lords, because I think that 30 can still stand up to these attacks pretty well. Nah, 35? Hold on. And a bang. 8 attack, 5 defense, 2 power, 2 knowledge, blood morale. I think I actually want to back off. I think I want them to come out and try and fight me so that my Orc Chiefs can do the damage. Yeah, we did not need to lose that many Bone Dragons. That was just a mistake. We're just going to call that a mistake. We're going to blast down these War Trolls. Now that these creatures are coming out, the skeletons are going to get into the way. It's going to be fine. It's just a little bit frustrating to lose that many of your Bone Dragons. Not my idea of a good time. Oh no, it means that you would do nothing with actual money ever. If is more to cover the cost of the alcohol, that would achieve the same. Oh, gotcha. Okay. That's a nuance in the language that I appreciate you catching me up to speed on. Thank you. Now I understand. Yes. Well, I mean, what's a little bit of alcohol amongst friends? I don't know much about it, but I'm going to pretend like I know about it for 2 seconds. Okay, back to what we were doing. Skeletons killed most of the Cyclopes. We lost like 100 on the rebound. I didn't realize how tough these guys were. 8 Vampire Lords goes down. I think that we just got back to the full though. Skeletons are going to finish this fight off. That was way more costly than I wanted it to be. 11 Bone Dragons, 156 Skeletons, 66 of the Orc Chiefs. I mean, we won, but geez. I think we're going to take the Pathfinding because we know that there's Desert at some point, and red players vanquished. So that's kind of interesting. That's kind of unique. But we have Ta-da! Dimension door. Mission accomplished, well done. And it's excellent because we do have the expert wisdom here on Beastmaster. And as soon as we're able to get our other friend, Zam, with his expert wisdom back through the use of this battle garb, then it's going to be time for us to have a really nice time. Really, really, really nice time just moving through this scenario with a little bit of help related to Chuzzlewit, related to the Dimension Door. That's going to help us go pretty well. So that's what we're going to do. Oh, the stereotypes had to start somewhere. Yeah, the stereotypes did have to start somewhere. In that case, Rice Ruin also says, I think that the auto combat is a whole leader down. Yeah, pretty much. Ladder 15 also says, are you ever going to go back to Heroes Might and Magic 5? I quite enjoyed it. Yes, I am. Absolutely. So I am intending on releasing the Heroes 5. It'll be scenario 4 from the Queen campaign. I'm going to put that on YouTube on Monday is when I'm going to release that video. So thank you for asking. Yeah, because I'm loving Heroes 5. I'm loving Heroes 5. Will I stream it again? Probably. Probably. I put out a poll recently on YouTube and I asked the question, which is your favorite? Heroes 2, 3, 4, or 5? And about 10% said that they liked Heroes 4 the best. 10% said that they liked Heroes 5 the best. About 50% said that they liked Heroes 2 the best. And then the rest goes to Heroes 3. And so a lot of the people in that poll are people from the Fix Fox community. And so I do have to recognize that the majority of people are here for Heroes 2, right? And so I do feel like I need to still focus my efforts on Heroes 2. And I love Heroes 2, don't get me wrong. And so with as limited streaming time as I have, it's tough to make the Heroes 5 on stream. But I'm going to commit to still doing that in the future because I really do like the interaction. And especially when you're learning a new game for the first time, it's really nice to have people in chat getting to help you along. So I'm planning on doing that in person, in chat. Time frame, I don't know. But I am going to be releasing on Monday the next installment of the Heroes 5 for Scenario 4 in the Queen campaign. Thank you very, very much for asking. Okay. We're going to go pick up this hero. I don't know who it is. I don't care. I do care. I do care. I want to find out who it is very, very quickly. And then after Zam clears all this out, he can just Dimension Door from here to there if he needs to. Yeah, so we're going to go back and get Dimension Door very quickly because time is of the essence. We are losing time because of how quickly we're getting gold. So let's waste no more time and let's head on up. Let's see, one hero here doing just fine. I'm going to drop all of these forces. Everybody I don't need, like these guys, zombies. Who needs these guys? Let's see, right here. I'm going to start actually dismissing heroes. If you're not going to be really useful for me, I just don't need to keep you around. It seems like it's subpar to do that, but it's really kind of how I feel about it. I don't want to get rid of these major scrolls of knowledge. I can't really land though, can I? I can't even get close enough. Oh, I can get to here. So another hero can come pick these up. So for now, Craghack is going to stick around. Mother Astor, I think that she was just trying to explore up to there. I think it's time to let go of Mother Astor. Yeah, especially with that Fizbin. Time for her to go away. And then I can play this map more as an RPG. That'll help it go faster. That'll help us get through this a little bit better. And then we're going to go from there. We have 39 spell points against 4,000 goblins. We have 4,000 goblins that we have to defeat. I think I might have bit off more than I can chew. Let's do our very, very best, and let's see what happens here. Is it too much to ask that they just join us? Come on, guys. You know how this is going to go. Come on. Let's see. Hethod says it's goblins. See, there, it's clobbering time is, of course, the thing from the Fantastic Four. It's goblin time? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is goblin time, 100%. And I don't know the best way of fighting this fight. I really don't. Let's take a look at our spells and see what's up. And then, Warrior, I lost somewhere my knife because I stopped peeling potatoes to reply to you. Oh, I found it. You put it in the trash. Thank you for sharing that. I don't want you to lose track of your things like that, but that does make for a pretty funny story. So, good, good. Okay, here's my strategy. Mass slow, bless, You're going to have to bless the Orc Chiefs. We're going to have to kill as much of this force as possible. But it's got to be the Mass Slow first. Probably the Bless. And then we're just going to have to see what happens. Kill the closest stack of Goblins first. Our Liches are killing 200 Goblins at a time. So my Goblins go up. My Skeletons go up. Oh, good luck helps an awful lot. How many do we kill with good luck? We kill a whole stack. Am I overthinking it again? What do you folks think? Is FixFox overthinking it yet again? I just assume that I see 4,000 Goblins and my brain says that's a lot. Back up, reverse. But when you really stop and look at it, again, especially if you're getting the good luck, 4,400 damage. My word. I guess with the Mass Slow, anything is possible. That should be my new saying. With Mass Slow, anything is possible. And I see no reason why that ought not to be the case. I am going to do one haste on the Skeletons. 346 Skeletons. Yeah, I'm going to haste them so that way they get to attack the stack of Goblins in a moment. We're going to kill a quarter of the stack, kill the rest here, skip, and kill, and call it a day. That was much easier than I thought it would be. 800 Skeletons! Holy shit! Woo! What a turn of events. What a turn of events. I was looking at that 4,000 Skeletons saying, oh my gosh, that's impossible to deal with. But then you fight the fight, you get out of it. And remember, Beastmaster does have now the advanced necromancy. 800 Skeletons in return. I am just, call me the farmer, because I am raising these Skeletons. All right. Well, this went much better than it could have. Happy for it. Phineas. Phineas has pathfinding, logistics, scouting, and 50 wolves. Not really thrilled with that. I just don't really care. He's just not that good. At this point, not that good, unfortunately. We are going to send Beastmaster over here. Zam is going to grab this, go through Griffins, go through some other forces, and then he's going to finally go get that Dimension Door. That's going to make things go much better for me. Let's just do the Chain Lightning. I don't really care. I think I should be able to defeat these Griffins with no problems. Obviously, the best choice is the Mass Slow, but I think that my forces are about to get mixed in kind of an interesting way anyway, so losing Genies, for example, wouldn't really hurt me. Like, it wouldn't hurt my feelings, rather. 43 down to 18. 2 elves goes down. We almost kill a full stack there on that retaliation. Yeah, we are just so tough. We are so tough. 18 down to 8. Let's kill here. We do. And then I am going to slow one of these creatures. Not all of them, but we're going to keep our spell points in as good of a situation as we can. Crowd in, friends. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. And that's going to be the end of this fight. Okay, and all this was simply just so that way we could say that we did our due diligence and we cleaned out this area before we pieced out with our town portal. By the way, which town gate are we going to town gate to? It's going to be Kaboomba. We're going to go back to Kaboomba. So we got to go find Kaboomba. Thankfully, you get these towns and castles in the order that they were captured by you. But I do have to tell you that that is actually a change that I would like to have at some point. I would actually really appreciate it. Oh, let's get this other hero over here, by the way. I'd actually really appreciate it if we could reorder heroes. There's nothing worse than having your primary heroes at the very bottom of the stack. I would like to be able to like click and drag in FHeroes2 to bring those heroes back up to the top. Maybe that's something that you can do and I just don't know about it yet, but that feels like a pretty important thing to me anyway. Let's see, Summon Earth. I'm going to keep that. Mass Slow. We don't need the Mass Slow. Mass Slow is back at our main home castle, so we're going to have Beastmaster go and pick that up. Fireball, Summon Earth. I don't think we really need the Fireball spell. Pendant of Death. I don't think so. Horseshoe. We'll keep it. Unless he's going to take the Battle Garb. He's going to take the Battle Garb, so we're going to put the Horseshoe on my other hero. There's our spell book. Chunk of Gold. We can move the Fizbin, so we shall. And that actually answers that question. I wasn't sure if you could move the Fizbins or like cursed artifacts in original Heroes 2. I'm happy to report that you can. For some reason I had it in my mind that maybe that was not possible once upon a time, but now that I know that it is possible, that actually makes me feel much happier that that is in the original game. If it's in the original game and it's in Heroes 2, like FHeroes2, that makes me feel okay. Oh, the Mass Haste we do want to keep, but that's going to be on our primary hero. Spell Scroll, Crystal Ball. Let's get rid of the Hideous Mask, Heart of Fire. Anything else? I don't think that the Wizard's Hat is actually going to be very useful. It's just going to take up space. The rest of these artifacts are wonderful. And I wish I could get rid of this magic book, but it cannot be traded, unfortunately. Okay, so Zam just kind of has a dead spot from here on out. Let's see. So we're going to do it just like this. BattleGarbs is going to go over here. We're going to do the full swap. Like so. Even though Beastmaster has picked up enough experience that he's just... I think that now he's much better than Beastmaster. I still want to do this swap. This was in my head earlier, and I think that I like the fact that we can use this advanced necromancy to get a huge skeleton snowball. That really... We just saw 800 skeletons. That makes that decision very, very easy for me. Truly it does. 800 skeletons at a time. That makes that decision so much easier for me. And so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do that. Yeah. Definitely a good decision for us. Okay, and so then do I want to pull over the Divine Breastplate? I think so. Why do you have 11 defense? Zam is so strong. Hold on. What level are you now? You're level 23 now, and Beastmaster is much less. Level 22? Wait, 32? Wait, 23 and 22. What is going on here? It just feels odd to me that Zam's skills feel like they're just much better in general. Huh. I don't know why, but that's just kind of the way I'm reading that anyway. We're going to go back to Luckenbach. Oh, we don't even have enough spell points to make that happen, though. That's unfortunate. Let's have all these heroes clear out. Zam can take... Oh, we didn't even trade forces. Let's combine these forces real quick. Bone Dragons, they're big, they're tough. Vampire Lords. And I think the Goblins are going to stay over here with Zam. And Elves. And Beastmaster is about to go pick up several weeks worth of these undead creatures. So Zam is going to continue on his way after he makes these purchases in here. What are the best purchases to have? There's really nothing there, actually. So let's do this. Let's go get Orcs. That's 55 there. That's going to be 104 there. Maybe I'm even going to take these 277 Orcs and put them back on Zam. But we're going to have our hero, Beastmaster, stay in the Mage Guild overnight, so that way he can replenish his spell points, go pick up these spells in Luckenbach, and then he's going to go back up to the front here, and we're going to soldier on through this fellow here. Garon is about to feel our wrath. Okay, we're going to call that a day. These logistics are sometimes not a very interesting part of the game to some people. Earlier I mentioned Olden Era, and in my research for an upcoming video, I did note that they've said that there's going to be 3 different types of gameplay. There's going to be multi-hero gameplay, where you can have from anywhere from 1 to 8 heroes. You can have as many heroes as possible. They're going to have single hero playthroughs where you're only allowed to have one single hero, kind of like what they do in Horn of the Abyss. And then they're also going to have a version called Arena. And the Arena is going to be kind of like a draft style playthrough where you're going to draft your army. You're going to have a certain limited amount of resources, and you're going to have to make the best army you can to defeat your foes. And there's no logistics. It's just make the best army out of the limited choices you have and move on. It's kind of like if you've ever played some entry from the Total War series. There's plenty of the Total War games where you get to do something similar to that, where you just have to worry about making a big fighting force. You don't have to worry about the logistics that lead up to that battle. And I kind of like that. And I don't know how I feel about that potentially being part of like a ranked ladder, which is their intention for all 3 of these game modes. All 3 of these game modes are going to be ranked in some way, shape, or form, but it's unique. but it's interesting. And it might be the new way of just playing. Who knows? It could be. I don't know. It's going to be a little bit difficult to find out. What's going to be the very best? I don't know. But it's a unique and interesting take on how you can maybe get new people into the game, where you start them off just fighting battles so that they can learn some of those strategies in a bubble before you make them try and balance the economy and the logistics on the adventure map, and also expect them to win. Interesting things to think about. Finally, all 105 Vampire Lords are going to join our army, and it's going to do us good because it's also going to eliminate some amount of gold. Same thing with these Power Liches. Folks, we just picked up 105 Vampire Lords. We just picked up 88 Power Liches. We have 1,400 Skeletons, a couple of Bone Dragons. Are we doing pretty good? I think that we're doing pretty good. I think we're doing really pretty good. In fact, we're doing so good, I really do want to drop. Yeah, we're going to go back to Kaboomba. We're going to stay there overnight. And the only reason why is because I do want to leave these Orc Chieftains for my other heroes so they can continue to go up north. So we're going to do that. And through the use of diplomacy and these massive forces, maybe we even get a horde of Phoenixes to join us. That's going to be my goal. We're going to go through these ghosts. We're going to take Archer City, and then we're going to see if Phoenixes are going to want to join us. I hope that they're going to see reason, and they're going to decide to agree with us that no, we should not fight. We should be friends. Okay. Reisterman says, those goblins above the Barb Castle might make good skeleton recruits. Oh, yes. Why, sir? I quite agree. I don't mind if I do. If they try and join, it's not going to happen. Do I accept? No. Oh, you're insulted by my offer, so you want to attack? Hurt and shocked. Hurt and shocked. Yeah, let's see how many of these gentlemen I can get to join my army. I'm not even going to, let's see, I'm not going to slow them or anything like that. It's just a waste of spell points at this point, I feel like. Because we're going to really defeat them very, very quickly. Let's see here. Gosh, it's not fair. So worth noting that the undead cannot get good morale, so we're kind of not fully utilizing the battle garb of Andurans plus max morale. But with the luck, undead are scary good, because then they're already very consistent and they just do tons of damage. So I am very happy for the way this fight's about to turn out. Do we kill one full stack with our 162 Vampire Lords? We do, and we get another 800 skeletons in return. Thank you for that, Rise. I definitely would have missed that, so I appreciate that very, very much. Okay, so more skeletons. We're over 2K. Let's go into Ghoul Town now. This feels good. This feels really good to have this many skeletons. And it was really kind of the thought process I had when we were just deciding where we ought to go and what we ought to do in these fights. I mean, who did we pick at the very beginning? We picked the Necromancers because of this exact strategy. And clearly it's paying off. Like, clearly this is going to be fine because nobody is going to want to fight me. None of these neutral creatures. Either they're going to run or they're going to join me. Either way, it's fine. But I blame the necromancy for that. So 38 skeletons from ghosts, sure, why not? And then I do want to see visions. The cavalries are going to join us as well. Tell you what, I'm going to have the cavalries join me. I'm going to drop them off in Archer City, and then I'm going to come back for the Phoenixes. So we'll do that in just a moment there. Troll Bridge, I don't really care. We'll see about this. Let's pick up these forces. Upgrade, good, good. Didn't we just have 500,000 gold just a moment ago? What happened? Very strange, very odd. Our morale is pretty bad. I think I'm going to get rid of, let's see. Oh no, our morale's good because we got the expert. No, we got basic leadership and the tavern. Okay, so it's not going to last, but it's good enough for now. Let's go clear out these trolls, then we'll come back. And everybody else is good to go. Perfect. Tobal 4HU. Hello, Tobal. Nice to have you here. Hey, Fixbox. Hey, chat. Glad to see you're back to Colossal Caverns. Yeah, and so we had mentioned previously, we saw that we had the Battle Garb of Anduran. We're using the Town Portal spell to full advantage, and we've also been able to pick up Dimension Door. So we're doing great. In fact, I don't think I've ever done any better. This might be one of the funnest scenarios I've ever gotten to play, just because of how much we are dominating at this point, and I have no regrets for it. At this point, our goal is not to just win the game. Our goal is to divulge this map of all of its secrets. And I think that we're going to do an okay job at that. We're going to have to wait and find out. We're just going to have to make sure. But I think that's not going to be too big of a problem to obliterate our enemies, leave their women and children crying, and continue on. Of course, that is my attempted reference at Conan the Barbarian. I don't actually recall specifically. Oh, Ranger's good. Hey, that could be useful. Where did those Rangers go? We had a bunch of Rangers. Here? Yeah, what town is this? This is the town of Giro, whatever it is. We're going to go pick up these archers. And then we're going to bring them back so we can upgrade them into Rangers. They're going to be twice as effective. It's going to take away some more of our gold. Then we're going to soldier back on. Again, trying to get these Phoenixes. But yeah, we've been able to pick up the Dimension Door. Not really using that a lot, but even just having the town portal makes us nigh unstoppable. The only issue is, of course, going to be to try to get some amount of spell points. That's probably going to be the major limiting factor from here on out. Okay, 370 there. Do I actually want to take these back for Zam? Yeah, I think I do. You see, just shuffling around creatures like this is kind of nifty. We're going to come back here. We're going to give the cavalries and the archers over. So let's drop them here in Kabumba. And in fact, we might even stay in Kabumba overnight just because then we can replenish our spell points. We're pretty low at the moment. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to stay and replenish our spell points. And then Zam is going to be very happy to accept these forces. It's time to let the genies go. Let's see. Whoa. Stop. Okay, let's do it like this. And like this. I just want to save the genies. It doesn't hurt my feelings too bad to just save them. And 95 elves. We'll keep the dragon for now. I don't know which is best, but here and here. And all of a sudden, I just feel impossibly tough. Zam's not going to pick up any of these trolls here, but he's going to clear them out just for fun. And this is the perfect time to hit auto combat and talk about some other things. So, by the way, does anyone have any questions about Olden Era? And the reason why I'm asking is for this. Maybe you have questions about Olden Era that I have gotten the answer to, and that's going to give me the chance to kind of think about the way I ought to structure the upcoming video, where I talk about all of the things that we know about Olden Era up to this point. So if you have any questions, I would actually really appreciate them, because if I don't know the answer, that means that that's a question I need to go looking for. But I've gone through at this point probably about 15 hours worth of video as far as people's interviews. The Olden Era team has tried to do some interviews with like streamers and things like that. Lexiov from Heroes2, and then a couple of other people I'm not really familiar who their names are or like who they are. But so there's a little bit of information there out there, and I don't know about you, but until I actually dedicated my time to try and go looking for answers just to see what was out there, it just didn't make a lot of sense for me to spend the time to go looking for those FAQs. My hope is I can put all the information into one video and structure it in a way that's a fun little bite-sized watch, similar hopefully to the way that my FHeroes2 video went, like why FHeroes2 is a modern day classic. But even that video I'm very happy with the way it turned out, because I was able to really discuss some of the merits of FHeroes2. I don't know enough about Olden Era. Even after all the research I've done, I don't even know enough about it, and I don't have access to the developers to truly get like an inside tracks bit of information to the game. But suffice to say, if you can't tell already, I'm really hoping that Olden Era turns out to be great. And I got to tell you, the art style actually looks pretty good. The only complaint I have with the game, as I can see it so far, is this. It does appear to me that when you have two upgrades, you have your base unit for each of your factions, and then you can either upgrade this way or this way. It's going to be a little bit difficult just only through colors to tell which upgrade you're dealing with at any given time, unless the colors are spot on. For example, I think the troglodytes can become like toxic troglodytes or some other type. I don't want to say infernal. Maybe it's infernal. Infernal and toxic. In that case, it's bright green versus red. If you can't do some real good color theory to make sure that it's painfully obvious to me, I'm worried that I'm going to struggle a little bit, but I'm going to assume that they're going to fix all those visual concerns, and that it's not going to be a problem. I'm going to assume that they're going to do an okay job with that, but that's the only complaint I have about the art style. Everything else looks the way that I would hope that a Heroes of Might and Magic game would look. And I don't know a better way of trying to say what I'm trying to say there, except that it feels right. It just feels right to me. So I'm excited for it. We're gonna still wait and see. Rice Ruin says, if you're still thinking of doing a joint multiplayer with the community when it comes out, the video might be a good place to announce it. What a great idea. Let me make a quick note on that. Let me make a quick note on that because that's an excellent suggestion. That's an excellent idea. Announce multiplayer. It's not like a watch party. It's like a play party. Play and discover. Opportunity. Yeah, what a great idea. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And so it sounds like Rise, it sounds like you'd be interested in doing something like that. You would be interested in being able to kind of explore it together with us all. Yeah, I think that'd be really, really fun. And it sounds like it's going to be technically released as early access, which I'm always a little bit hesitant about any kind of quote unquote early access game, which I think that we ought to be in general. If it's an early access, you got to know what you're getting into. But they're going to have 6 factions. It's basically going to be a full release. They anticipate that there's not going to be like any missing holes. I don't know. I'm just excited to get my hands on it. I think that I am going to try and take 1 full week off of work. Hopefully it coincides with the time. That makes a lot of sense. But I think I'm going to try and take like a couple of days off of work at least, just so that way I can get into the game, get my feet wet with it, and hopefully be at the forefront of the olden era before other people can do way much more with it and define their own meta. I want to define the meta. Like, this is a little bit of pride for FixFox. I'm sorry you have to see my pride here on full display, but I really want to get my hands on it, and I really want to see what I can do with it before my mind gets changed by other people with more experience with it. Ahead, you discern the figure of Garon, the Mountain King. Drawing nearer, you see that he is quite insane, thrashing at unseen foes and mispronouncing the mighty oaths of dwarfdom. Take that, you ghoulies, he snarls. You've taken my castle, but you'll never get me. How sad. You consider whether to offer him a warrior's death or to simply take the castle and wait for him to be recalled by his gods. Oh, interesting. So I'm guessing that there's a green castle back here somewhere. Let's see if he attacks us or not. I don't know if he's going to attack us, but maybe we do give him the opportunity just to disappear after 7 days has passed. I'm guessing that that's what that means. Yes, and he has decided not to attack us. So we'll see if that works out or not. We do see a dock ahead. According to our map, you're not that far off from home. You don't suppose we could go back home? That would be nice. Going back home? Yeah, I'm for it. Rice does say, yeah, but I'm not sure my laptop has the specs for it. Either way, I wouldn't miss it. You know, and that was one of the questions that somebody else has posed as part of the frequently asked questions, which is really, it's the right question. Like, hey, am I going to be able to play this game? Heroes of Might and Magic became popular because a potato could run the game. I think it would be a huge disservice to fans if we were unable to play the game because the specs were too high. Like, right? Like, I just think that makes sense. I think that makes sense to me. It makes sense to everybody here. Yeah, we want the game to be good, but we also want to make sure that we can play it. If we can't play it, there's no point. It would not be keeping in the spirit of the very best game. I do fear. One of the questions I had was that, is this going to be an esport? Are they going to try and make this an esport? And if they do try and make it an esport, I could see them falling into the trap of trying to make it flashy and bright and exciting so that way it can compete with other games that are flashy and bright in esports. And if they try to compete with other games, it's probably going to be too high spec, at least too high spec for my taste. I hope not. I hope I'm wrong, but that is one of my concerns as well. And Rise to Ruin, you do agree with that as well. Yeah, the game was built off of being able to be run by anybody. It'd be a real shame if they got away from that. Totally. Tobal is saying as well, I'm interested too in an online release event. I plan to buy it right away anyway. Yeah, Yeah. So release event, sure, definitely. I tell you what, that is my plan. Is that we're gonna find a way to we're gonna find a way to be able to play it all through the night if we want to. If people are open to it, I'd be happy to have that be streamed, so that way we could get as much information as possible. The question is, of course, for those people that don't want to talk, if they prefer to type, how would I make sure that I'm still able to give them the opportunity to participate in a way that's meaningful? As cool as it is for FixFox just to talk all the time, really exploring the game as a group, I would like for other people to be able to get to really discuss the game as well. So typing, talking, it would just depend on what people are comfortable with. We would have to wait and see. Beyond the green barrier lies the castle of Dragadoon, seat of the Mountain King. Even if you decide to return to your lands on the surface, you feel it would be useful to establish a base here, at least for the short term. It might be good to be king. Besides, old Garen probably had some treasure around here somewhere. I think that's probably very fair to say. Let me pull back up the green barrier. Does anyone recall? If you recall, then I'm going to be very, very impressed with the green barrier, with your memory here. So I do know what the barrier is here. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to type it out in chat. I'm going to take a drink and then I'm going to type it in. So if you remember, shout it out. Rogue. As you speak the magic word, the glowing barrier dissolves into nothingness. And we do see these ghoulies that Garen was discussing. So this poor Mountain King, yeah, it looks like he's going to have to suffer as we take his castle back from him. 100 mutant zombies, 220 bone dragons, 30 of the vampire lords. We have 116 spell points. Mass slow. You just can't go wrong with it. Is Mass slow the best spell in the game? Is Mass slow the best spell in the game? That's a great question. I want everybody else's thoughts. What is the best spell in the game? Like, hopefully we can all talk about this a little bit and I can get your opinion on the matter. I'm just very interested to know what is the best spell in the game. Because Mass slow right now, I can't think of a spell I would prefer to have in these fights. If I'm just fast enough with a 6-speed creature with the Power Lich, or if I'm able to get some Phoenixes into my army, at that point, if everybody else is slow from there on out, then I think that these necromancy troops are just unstoppable. I truly do. Anyway, let me know if there's any other spell that's better than Mass slow. Of course, knowing that it is all situational. Astrologers proclaim this to be Month of the Eagle. I walked into here. I see that there's a little pile of gold, but I don't know how to get to it. If I hit V for view map, yeah, we're right here. You can see there's a little pile of gold, but I don't know how to get to it. So I'm just going to go over here. Before I hop into the boat, I want to see what's over here. Oh, so there's 2 areas. Oh, and this leads you to the Magellans Maps. Oh, wonderful. We're going to pick up Magellans Maps very soon. Troyanne has done herself a good job. Thank you, Troyanne, for working your way tirelessly through that area. Oh, and here is actually the spot where Crag Hack is stuck. Maybe if I'm able to defeat the Phoenixes, maybe he's going to be able to land. Let's try that, actually. Let's just see if that works. By the way, picking up a gold mine here, picking up a gold mine here. And then we're going to attack Gargonzola. Tobel4HU says, by the way, an interesting piece of trivia. The first appearance of Crag Hack, as far as I know, was in Might and Magic Book 1, the first Might and Magic RPG game in 1986. There was a pre-made character which you could play named Crag the Hack. I believe that is where Crag Hack came from to the Heroes games. And I'm so glad you bring that up because Zentz from the FHeroes2 team, he also mentioned in the previous stream, and he then followed through by helping post it to the FixFox Discord. He mentioned that Crag Hack is the self-insert for Mr. I believe you pronounce his name Clegane. It was the original designer for Heroes of Might and Magic. That was his character from his Dungeons and Dragons playthrough. Crag Hack is a reference to his character that he played in Dungeons and Dragons. How cool is that? I think that's so fun. I love very, very much that Crag Hack started off just as his personal player character, and now he is ubiquitous throughout all of the Heroes of Might and Magic games. Super cool. Super cool. And that's news to you? Yeah, it was news to me. I only just found out about that a little bit ago. So yeah, Zence, apparently from the FHeroes2 team, Zence is a bit of a Heroes of Might and Magic lore master, which is always a pleasure to get to talk to people that know what they're talking about. Someday I've mentioned before, I would really love it if people could just tell me all of the lore associated with Might and Magic. I believe it is on the RPG Codex website where a lot of that lore is linked. And in fact, that is the site that Zence linked me to. So pretty interesting there to think about, that we're going to have to see what the future holds with the lore, and will there be a better way to find out more about this lore? For that, I cannot say. I do not know. Mass Shield, Fire Blast, and Phoenixes 40. Do you think we're going to buy 40 Phoenixes? I sure do. I wonder if these Phoenixes over here are going to want to join us now, actually. A horde of Phoenixes? Let's go. Hold on. Let's just try this. Let's go back to Archer City. And this time it's like, look, you didn't want to join me before, but now I've got some of your brethren here. Are you sure you don't want to join me? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All the creatures will join us for a huge sum of gold, and we will be grateful for it. All 86 Phoenixes will join the army. And folks, 126 Phoenixes, 14 Bone Dragons, 162 Vampire Lords, the Skeletons, the Power Liches, on the Battle Garb of Anduran. We are cruising. We're having such a good time. Such a good time. Let's go back to Dragon Noon, and we're going to stay there overnight. We're also going to try and pick up that 5th level Mage Guild here, just in case it's something nifty. If there is something really good in here, like, for example, if it is the town portal itself, or the town gate, rather, then maybe we give the Battle Garb to somebody else, so that way they can come up, grab it, and then more heroes have town gate, more than just with the Battle Garb. But maybe, maybe not. It looks like in this case we're just going to have to wait because we're so low on spell points. We're going to come back another day and have a good time with that. Gosh, it's nice when things go your way. And right now, everything is going our way. Absolutely everything. On to a new day. And Rice Ruin says, I'd take 20 Black Dragons, 20 Spell Power, and Armageddon over Mass Slow, but I agree that it's an S tier spell, even better than Haste. Mass Magic Arrow would have been a fun 4th level spell, like a weaker than Meteor Shower Volley, but it hits all enemies. What a good idea. I really like that. I saw recently, I don't know how you pronounce his name, YHSJ something something in the FHeroes2 Discord. Recently he was coming up with ideas for different spells, and one of them was Plague, I think, and the concept there would have been that you lose your ability to retaliate or to take your turn, some kind of major disabling spell. When mod support comes online for FHeroes2, remember that, and we'll see about a 4th level Mass Magic Arrow spell. That'd be pretty nifty. I'd be interested in seeing that. Pirate's Den, okay. Well, let's pick up the Expert Navigation just in case that's useful. I wonder if there's something right there. I wonder, but this is the potential problem I assume that we were talking about, where you can get stuck here. I assume that that's what that is. So we're going to stay away from that for now. Let's go grab another boat. Let's go. We'll pick up the gold in just a moment or two, but this Magellans Maps is too tasty. I simply must have it. We already have the Gold Traveler's Tent. We don't need that. But on we go. And I don't think I really need to waste my time with windmills, as we've already mentioned, so I'm just not going to. I could go north through this area. I just don't see any need for it. The Giants didn't want to join us before. They definitely don't want to join us now. Let's take one step further and Dimension Door on over. Behind this green barrier, we find a new hero. This is going to be Brother Max the Knight with 100 Veteran Pikemen. Not a bad hero. No spells to cast, though. He is level 14, so another hero just to keep around, just in case. And then what's this? Orange Traveler's Tent. We've been here before, I believe. Sign, all this. Ooh, artifact. Do we need more bits of the Battle Garb of Anduran? What if we picked up 2 Battle Garbs of Anduran? Oh, now that would be nifty. Let's see if we can make that happen. We can get by here. Unfortunately, I just realized we can't get this artifact because genies are everywhere, and that's a problem. What is this, though? Gold? Gold, gold, gold. Tell you what, let's just explore with this Dimension Door. As many casts as we can use. Let's just see what's out here. This area, kind of nifty. Okay. Tell you what, I don't know if we've ever seen this kind of lith before. I don't think we have. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. I remember this. Okay. Caution, teleporter malfunction. And so if I recall, we're going to have to take a couple more steps, but there's a neat little trick that the map designer did in this scenario with this malfunctioning teleporter. So we're going to take a look at that in 1 second after we do the Magellans Maps. A retired captain living on this refurbished fishing platform offers to sell you maps of the sea he made in his younger days for 1,000 gold. Do you wish to buy the maps? I sure do. And so it looks like there is an awful lot over here. Interesting that there's stone liths there. There's some amount of water here. Of course, water wheels on water. That just makes sense. Magellans Maps to the south. Aha. And here, another set of stone liths. Another Battle Garb of Anduran artifact. Very interesting as well. Through 2 pyramids. So we're going to see if we can get into this area. And we've already been seeing this purple hero for some time, just wandering around. Troyan, you've done yourself proud. Good job. Getting that Magellans Map actually is very, very useful for us. Okay. Do I need to stop in here? I don't think I do. I'm still trying to explore the map and devoid it of its resources. We can go this direction through this gold barrier, or we can go this way through this brown barrier. I don't know which is better. Let's start going for the gold barrier, and then if I change my mind, I can always do that later. Okay, but here, we are back on these liths. And of course, we defeated the ghosts once before, and again, but there are multiple similar rooms that all say the same thing, which is so fun. What a fun way of kind of doing that, where it looks like it's broken. It's not actually broken, but it looks like it's broken. And then if you're not paying attention, you might think that your game glitched and broke. I think that we're all glad that the game is not glitched and broke, but pretty interesting to see that Charles Watkins had this thematic event, this thematic idea in his mind where he was using broken teleporters to clear or to add something to this map. And each of these rooms, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Each of these rooms all have 1,000 gold with the sack of gold. That's pretty nifty too. Knowing that that's going to be required in order to win the whole campaign, I don't think that there's any question what's the best option there. Okay. Should we go into this area? It looks like, tell you what, we're going to have Beastmaster go into this left corner, and then we're going to have Zam go through the gold barrier. So we're going to see if we can find a magic well or something like that. Let's see. Let's go over to here, and we're going to see if we can dimension door over this area. Perhaps we can dimension door up here, but we're going to find a way to get into the volcanic territory here. And at this point, we're just doing full exploration. With this army, we are unstoppable. We're going to win the scenario. We are way behind on gold, but we have so much time. We're not going to lose. We just want to see what Charles Watkins has for us in this scenario. So no hero other than Zam and Beastmaster get to move. That's my new goal. So there's 1, there's 2. It looks like the answer is no. Maybe I'm going to have to get down to here, then go through here. Stone liths. Tell you what, let's just go back here. Maybe this is going to take me somewhere I've never been before. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so there is this area. Oh, but this alchemist tower, I can stop in on that. And then after I do, I'll be able to hop in these liths again. Wait a second. Hold on. Ricerin says that's really nifty. I can imagine after hours of playing being so exhausted and thinking that the game is bugged or something. I think so. By the way, I just realized bone dragons. We do want bone dragons to join us. Like, of course we do. We're up to 79. I think I can get one more group to join me. I think. For some reason, all of a sudden, it's important for me to pick up gold. Let me just see. Visions, are you going to join me too? Yeah, I've got the gold for you to join me as well. But just in case you didn't notice, we're getting kind of broke. 16k gold is all that remains. Huh. Nifty. But yeah, really, really nifty to be able to just enjoy the game and see these new fun little wrinkles. Okay, on to the next thing. It's the first time I think I've seen that purple hero ever move. And when I say purple hero, I don't mean Zam. 59 bone dragons. Do we have enough gold to get you to join us? That's kind of my new question. Nope, we don't have enough. Oh, wait, hold on. I don't think we have enough gold. Oh, the bone dragons are just going to join us? We're up to 201 bone dragons. Feeling great, feeling great. And then here, this is the place I wanted to go. And we're going to Dimension Door over here. I don't think I have any cursed artifacts. No, I do not. But then this lith should take me somewhere nifty. Okay, this is basically back home. Ah, and we've not really been in the desert yet. So let's go up to these stables, get the movement points, and then let's explore this desert area. As we approach the stables, the head groom appears, leading a fine-looking warhorse. This steed will help speed you in your travels. Alas, his endurance will wane with a lot of heavy riding, and you must return for a fresh mount in a week. We also have many fine war horses which could benefit from mounted soldiers, but you have none that we could help. All right. Well, I'm still going to pick up my +1s where I can. Teal tent. I think that we've already been to this teal tent. Is there something in this corner up here? Perhaps. I don't really need more genies. Bearded Man says maybe you will finally find the ultimate artifact here. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're still looking for the ultimate artifact. I forgot about that. Yeah, and if we can find that ultimate artifact, we're going to try to make sure that we leave room so we can pick it up. Great idea. Excellent idea. And let's see. Oh, for the first time, we see a hut of the Magi. We enter into a rickety hut and talk to the magician who lives there. He tells you of places near and far which may aid you in your journeys. Oh, and it doesn't actually take you around to places? Is this the first hut of the Magi we found? Wow. I didn't realize that that was just for FHeroes2. Interesting. So in FHeroes2, it'll show you all of the eyes that are on the map. It did not do that here for me now, and so I don't know what part of the map was revealed. What a big change. What a very important change. I like that. Okay, we're going to go through the mummies. We're going to let them live. And folks, this is what we in the business call a bad idea. If we lose our hero here, we just lose, right? Like, this goes for the battle garb of Anduran. This is for 200 bone dragons. This is for 2,000 skeletons, 134 power liches, 126 phoenixes. Do we go for the Sphinx and maybe lose? Because remember, we did come upon a Sphinx that we could have lost before. And in fact, we did lose the Sphinx. We had to continue on. We did save before. Rise to Ruin says, oh no, please save. XD, XD. Okay. All right, we will save. Please save. I appreciate that my chat actually really likes me well enough to say, yeah, dude, we don't want to see you fail. Like, let's just do a save and go from there. Okay. But we will, after we've now saved, continue on with this riddle. We're going to see what we can do here, folks. Real quick, let me get caught up on chat. Bearded Man did say about the ultimate artifact, and then Rise to Ruin followed up with maybe go back through Liths and flag those 5 or so gold mines. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I should do that. And then Bearded Man says, let's hope it's just an equation or something. Knights of light and knights of shadow cast their lots for good and bad. So their fortunes intertwine in mysteries encased in rhyme. If you know, just tell me so. Where did they find their El Dorado? It's a good thing we saved. Knights of light and knights of shadow cast their lots for good and bad. So their fortunes intertwine in mysteries encased in rhyme. If you know, just tell me so. Where did they find their El Dorado? Rise to Ruin guesses graveyard. Because we've saved, any thoughts you have, we're going to give them a try. I'm going to put graveyard. We've guessed incorrectly. It's a good thing that we saved. So the answer is not graveyard. That was a good guess. What else do we have? What other thoughts do we have here? El Dorado. In case you're not familiar, El Dorado is the lost city of gold. I believe that was related to Cortez, the Spanish conquistador. And so maybe the reference is like, where did they find their treasure? Maybe it's not necessarily their El Dorado, but where did they find their treasure? Or maybe where did they find their gold? Have you read any rhyming texts on this map elsewhere? No, I don't think we have. Other rhyming texts on the map? I don't think we have. Very interesting question. Because if we did, then that would just make sense because it's encased in rhyme and maybe there was a hint somewhere else on the map. Where did they find their El Dorado? So I think that this is also talking about the Knights Templar. And the Knights Templar, you know, it's mentioned in other signs that this is related to King Solomon. I know that it's related to, you know, what their code was and their creed, but their El Dorado. I mean, they weren't necessarily crusaders going towards the Holy Grail. I don't know if like the Holy Grail would be the answer. Maybe the answer rhymes with the riddle, Bearded Man says. Rhymes with the riddle. Which part? Which part of the riddle would we be looking to rhyme? Like with Dorado or with rhyme? Give me some more thought on that, please. And then what was the castle with the gold mines around it? Rise Truant asks. What was the castle with the gold mines around it? We'll go check that. Tell you what, I just want to put down Knights Templar. Temple? How about Temple? Oh. Ta-da! I'm very glad that we saved. That was not intentional, but that might be the best Heroes of Might and Magic moment I've ever had. And we've had some great Heroes of Might and Magic like moments. That might have been one of the coolest guesses I've ever had in my life. Oh my gosh. Because I'm like, oh, well, Knights Templar and like, where's their El Dorado? Like Knights Templar in the temple, like that just makes sense to me. It was a guess. I was going to go check to see what that castle was. Huh. Okay. Looking somewhat disappointed, the Sphinx sighs, you've answered my riddle. Here's your reward, now be gone. Sphere of Negation disables all spell casting for both sides in combat. That's actually a curse. I want to get rid of this artifact as soon as possible. I don't want it. I prefer my spell casting. Okay. Chat, you guys are awesome. I love you guys. And gals and guys. Rice Druin says, what? Christina Diamonds, oh my gosh, what a plot twist. Amazing Fix Fox, agreed. Bearded Man, what an ultimate blessing. Sphere of Negation ain't that good though. Yeah, but the reason that I was thinking about that, where we're talking about being able to cast spells, I'm getting so much value out of my Mast slow. Yeah, Sphere of Negation, not that good. And then Rice Druin, pro gamer luck. Every now and again, you know, maybe I am a pro gamer. Maybe I am. After that, I just might be a pro gamer. That might have been me getting my wings, as it were. That was a crazy moment. That was an amazing moment. The problem is that now we've used up all of our good luck. We have no more good luck. That was it. For the rest of this playthrough, at least, we don't have any other kind of good luck that we can use. I don't think we're going to need it, but hopefully by the next playthrough, it is recharged in some amount. So I guess I'm going to have to go and never buy a lottery ticket again. I suppose I can never just hope that good things happen to me. Yeah, from here on out, I think it's all bad things from here on out. By the way, we are out of spell points. There's this magic well all the way over here. I'm going to go try actually to backtrack. And I would prefer to have full spell points more than anything. It's amazing how quickly you can use 140, 170 spell points. Okay, Magical Gold Barrier. Oh, I have to recall what this one was. Gold is Crest. The answer is Crest. So we've spoken that through, and I know that this is going to take us to the quote-unquote next dungeon level, but I do still want to go up here. Tell you what, before we end the scenario, we'll just remember to go back in that direction. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. That was an awesome turn. That was pretty crazy. Love it. Love it. All right, so Zam is going on through dungeon level 3. Oh, look at these rocks, Christina. We talked about the rocks formation sort of a deal. It looks like this is not the first time that the map designer has used this sort of thing. The terrain is wrong, but they're using that sort of as guides, I suppose. So just one more thing to keep an eye out on. Oh no, this looks to be impassable. This feels like we should be able to walk through. Maybe we have to go the back way. It looks like I should be able to sneak through there, but it looks like I cannot. iHub from the FHeroes2 team graciously mentioned that there's a few spots where pathing is bugged in Colossal Caverns for Heroes 2, and so that might simply just be one of them. And if that's the case, I'm happy to have found it, especially now that we've got the Dimension Door. It doesn't hurt my feelings too bad at all to have to find alternative ways to still meet our goals. Folks, Green Player has been vanquished. It is month 5, week 4, day 1. It's a new month, and we're getting about 24,000 gold per day. Still on track to win the scenario, I do believe. I don't feel the need to fight any of these fights. I do want to pick up free things like this. Spell Scroll gives you Town Gate. And just to be clear, there's Town Gate and then there's Town Portal. Town Gate is good, but it's not Town Portal. That is different. So we're going to keep an eye out on that. Whoa. I did not anticipate that anybody would want to fight me. I think I'm going to need to get rid of these 95 elves, and so that way somebody can join me. Feels kind of weird to try and let go of elves in this great of an amount, but clearly it's not enough to convince people to leave me alone. And I do want these heroes to kind of roll through these fights. I suppose I could just turn on... I think that there is an actual auto combat in the original Heroes 2. You just can't choose to refight the fight yourself if you don't like the results. Yeah, I think that we're going to see if we can turn that on just to make some of these fights go a little bit faster. Okay. But we're getting through these fights with no problems. 9,300 experience, plus 1 knowledge. Yeah, if it's anywhere, it's going to be right here. Nope, I guess that there is no auto combat. Bit of a shame, really. Okay. Shows you how much experience I have with the original Heroes 2 gold. That I don't even know the answer to that question. Okay, but we are going to pick up Magic Well. We are going to get through this desert. We are going to try to go for these pyramids. Again, if we can pick up Town Portal as a 5th level spell from one of these pyramids, then I'm going to be able to give the Battle Garb over to Zam, and that's going to make things go much better for me. So we're going to sneak on through here. Power Liches. I assume that you're going to want to join me. 134 Power Liches up to 234. That's 100 extra Power Liches. My goodness. And what this really means is I can't hit auto combat because 234 Power Liches is going to obliterate your own forces if you make a mistake and if you let them. So can't do that. Oh, Sphere of Negation's in play. So there's no spells. I shouldn't need spells, but there's no spells. Okay, and so the first pyramid, does this give us the town gate that we were hoping for? Town portal. Beautiful. Beautiful. And so now, even though Zam doesn't have access to Town Portal, he's going to get the Battle Garb of Anduran as soon as we can get him close to a town or a castle. He's pretty close to one right now. Then, as soon as we can, Beastmaster is going to go back, and he's going to drop off that nifty artifact. And then we're going to have 2 guys who are unstoppable. So, let's take the Town Portal back to Chernobyl. Here. Let's Dimension Door over to our friend. Yeah, and you can't even Dimension Door into that area. Very strange. Very strange. And then with this adjustment, we're going to... I think that... Oh, geez. I think that Zam is going to go find another hero that he can give this Sphere of Negation to. But he's going to take both of these artifacts and this Crystal Ball for that matter. So I can leave as many good spells on Beastmaster as possible. Summon Earth, I don't think I really need it. I'm not going to worry about it too much. But now Beastmaster can get back probably to Dragadoon with his own Town Portal. And at this point, it's just not fair. But sometimes you don't want to play fair. Sometimes it feels good to play mean and nasty. Witch Doctor's Hut. An orcish witch doctor living in the hut deepens your knowledge of magic by showing you how to cast stones, read portents, and decipher the intricacies of chicken entrails. Lovely, lovely. There are titans up here. I wonder if I didn't have phoenixes, if they would want to join me. I don't think I really care to find out, though. I'm just going to defeat a horde of titans. It shouldn't actually be that hard. Yeah. 5 stacks of 13 or 12. This shouldn't be that hard, but it's just a bit of a shame, really, because if they could join me, they would be excellent on my other hero. Do I kill one full stack? I do. One, and not quite one. Interesting. Not quite one full stack there. Huh, there is still some strength amongst these titans, isn't there? 2 vampire lords, they freeze and panic. Yeah, we did lose 1 bone dragon there, but I'm not gonna worry about that too much. Do I actually have animate dead? I do. I'm just out of spell points. Oh no, I'm out of spell points. Yikes. I've put myself in a bad situation. Yet again, I've been unwise with my movement points. I might have mysticism. I do. I've got basic mysticism. So it's still going to take me 2 days, but I'm going to be stuck for a day or 2. So with that being said, Beastmaster is going to walk through, claim all this stuff, and then soldier on his way. Meanwhile, Zam is going to ignore a lot of these other forces. I'm still amazed that the vampires aren't going to give him his dues. I said I would put the Sphere of Negation on somebody else, and then I didn't. Whoops. And for some reason, the Orc Chiefs are eating a lot of this attention. This is one of those differences we talked earlier about the differences between FHeroes2 and Heroes of Might and Magic 2. That is unexpected for me. I would just assume that the heroes, well, FHeroes2, I know that they would have attacked anybody else. Reason being is because the Orc Chieftains are already covered up. There's no real need to fight them like that. But then again, if the AI thinks it's best, who am I to tell them that they're wrong? Unmet expectations, it's not really a problem. It's part of the reason why mods are so wonderful for these games. I mean, lest we forget, right? Lest we forget, Heroes of Might and Magic 2 came out in 1995. Heroes of Might and Magic 3 came out in 1998, I believe. I think I'm wrong on that. Somebody fact check me on that. But these are games that have been out for, it hurts my heart to say, but 25 years now. And so the modding community has done a great job to adjust things and keep the game fresh and new. After that length of time, that's really required. And so things like Wake of the Gods, things like Horn of the Abyss, I mean, it's really good people doing a huge service to us gamers by allowing us the opportunity to experience these things new. So I'm very, very happy that as I look back on this actually feels very, very unique, and I'm not complaining about. I'm not complaining when I say that my expectations are different because I've been playing so much Heroes 2, or for FHeroes2. That's actually a good thing. That's not a bad thing. Let's see. Beastmaster needs to walk through here anyway. Might as well. Oh, and we might as well pick up these resources as we try to go through. Bearded Man says, I distinctively remember that Heroes 2 was published in 1996. Okay, there you go. 1996? Was it Heroes 1 that was 1995? Okay, it must have been Heroes 1 that was 1995, then Heroes 2 was 1996. Okay. And so then, wait, did Heroes 3 come out in 1999? I know it was not the 2000s, that's for sure. But was it 1998 or 1999? I don't know. And I don't really know if it matters that much. The thing that really gets me with the Heroes games is this, though, is that there was such a short turnaround from one game to the next. And so when you really stop and think about it, it's really fun to see the different portraits for different units. And so like Heroes 1 and Heroes 2, you got Tyro, that was the same hero, right? Some of these portraits made it from 1 to 2. And then Heroes 3, of course, there was brand new portraits all the way around. But it's interesting to think about what assets were reused from one version of the game to the next, because they had to, because there was too little time to rewrite or redraw some of these different assets, whether it is a portrait for a hero or something else. Yeah, just pretty interesting stuff, I think. And so, yeah, that's why the time matters between 1995 and 1996, and then whether or not they had 2 years or just 1 year between Heroes 2 and Heroes 3. Middlegate Cemetery, please do not disturb the tombs, but I will disturb Mr. Bones. Here in Middlegate, 583 skeletons, actually. That's kind of a lot. But we're going to fight Mr. Bones, which, of course, makes me think of Mr. Bones' Wild Ride from the Tycoon game. What was it? Roller Coaster Tycoon. To be honest, I never played Roller Coaster Tycoon. I never did. but it sounds like a really fun game. And one of my all-time favorite copy pastas is the one about Mr. Bones' Wild Ride, and all of the people on the ride say, I want to get off of Mr. Bones' Wild Ride, because the game is meant to be so slow. Like, the ride is built so that way people lose interest, and the in-game number of days that it takes to complete Mr. Bones' Wild Ride in Roller Coaster Tycoon is months. Imagine that you're at Disneyland and Peter Pan's ride takes months to complete. Yeah, that'd be a problem. Did we just notice that the peasants didn't even move? Hold on. Did you see these 100 peasants in the upper right corner? They didn't. Oh no, they lost their turn. They lost their turn due to poor morale, so they didn't move. I thought that they just kind of gave up, which, I mean, let's be real. That's kind of fair, right? Just saying. Okay, is there a mage guild here? There is. So when our friend comes back, it's going to be Beastmaster. Beastmaster is going to come back into Middlegate here. And then we're going to give on over this artifact here. This Spade of Necromancy, it's going to increase the Necromancy skill. That means more skeletons. Feels pretty okay to me. That's what we're going to do in just a moment. But before we do that, Beastmaster is going to pick up this Holy Hammer for the +5. You come upon a battle where a paladin has been mortally wounded by a group of zombies. He asks you to take his hammer and finish what he started. As you pick it up, it begins to hum, and then everything becomes a blur. The zombies lie dead, the hammer dripping with blood. You strap it to your belt. That's going to be +5 to our attack skill there. 14, 12, and 9. And somehow Zam is just as good or better. 14, 6, and 14, 16, 15, 14, 12, and 9. Oh, but he does have the battle garb now. Okay, not a problem. But we're going to cast this spell. Oh no, we just have enough for one dimension door. Can we get to this magic well from here? Possibly. Best thing to do is to travel to there, and then we'll go through. Bix Fox, do you know of Norovo? Yes, I do. I do know of him. He does, as far as I'm aware, he does a lot of Heroes 2 and a little bit of Heroes 3. I don't know what he primarily does, but I do know that he does games in the Heroes 2 genre. I don't know if he does any other games, to be honest. It seems to me that he has slowed down on his uploads recently. I think that he mentioned in one of his videos that he moved, and then it's been multiple videos a month down to like one video a month or something like that. So whatever he's going through right now, whether he's just tied up with other responsibilities or school or work and career goals or whatever, I hope he's doing well for himself. I know that he gets a tremendous response from his community whenever he does get the opportunity to post. But yeah, I do know of him. I do know of him. And I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of his stuff. Occasionally I'll like kind of thumb through it, mouse through it, but yeah, I seem to think that I like his style. I like the cut of his jib, as it were. Go back to Middlegate. There are, as I've mentioned before, I don't have enough time to play as much game as I would like, let alone watch. I specifically try and make time for certain people. I try and make time for people that I would like to support, so that way they can feel my support, because I really like their style and I like the things that they do, but I don't have as much time to watch people as I would otherwise like. So that would be a change I would like to make in the future if I could. Spade of Necromancy over here. Any other changes? No. Although, hold on. What if I just gave Zam the Phoenixes? I'm going to do it. I'm going to give Zam the Phoenixes, so that way Beastmaster can go pick up somebody else. I'm sure he can do that in just a moment or two. Anyway, Bearded Man, but why do you ask? Let's see, can I town gate out of one of these towns? Or do you have to take a step out? I don't actually know the answer to that. Looks like you can. Let's go to, tell you what, let's go back to the middle of the map. Let's go back to Ghoul Town. Haven't been there in a minute. And then we can try and get into this area. Is this too much to Dimension Door over? Possibly. Oh no, but we can go over here. So let's go yonder. And Dimension Door here. Whoa, that's a lot of crystal. It's an awful lot of crystal. Wow, crystal, gold. What else? Oh, observation tower. Very, very necessary. Black dragons up the main road. Oh, yes. And we do want to go destroy this gentleman here to the south. So let's go do that pretty quick. Wow. You can't get to all of these water summoning altars, but if you could, that would be a big power stack. That'd be very, very nice to see. And Charles Watkins, if you don't know, if you recall from Ghost Planet 1.1, he does an awful lot with making fun-looking adventure map objects by layering these doodads. It doesn't necessarily match the vibe for Enroth that you would normally find. It's definitely more of like a custom game sort of a feel, but it does definitely get the job done, and I tend to enjoy it pretty much to see the fun things that he kind of does with this. Okay, I want to go back to somewhere where I have another hero. Let's go for Dragadoon. Let's go over to Dragadoon real quick. Then we're going to come back. Let's see. How do you think his tactics compare to yours? I haven't watched enough of him to know how his tactics and mine compare. I'm guessing he's really, really good. Here's the thing. I've had the conversation a couple times on stream where I've wondered, why do people watch FixFox, right? Because I never planned on streaming. I never planned on having an awful lot of conversation with people where I'm playing in front of people. I never planned on this, but we do it. And so I've asked the question to myself in the past, why do people watch what FixFox does? And I think that there's a mix between some people watching people because they're incredibly skilled and some people watching others because they're very fun to watch. And I don't know what my niche is. So I don't know if people watch me because they think that I'm some kind of expert at the game. And I don't know if people watch me because they just think that I'm fun to watch. I don't know the answer. For him, I think it's a mix between the way that he discusses and approaches the game is very, very much relaxing, but also strategic. I don't know if he is recording his audio and his overlay, his thoughts. I don't know if he's doing that while he's playing or if he records the videos and then he records his thoughts so he can speak, giving his commentary full attention and also playing with full attention. I don't know if he does it that way or if he talks while he plays. I can't even really tell. But I think that he's the kind of person that his vibe is such that it invites people to want to spend a lot of quality time with him. I think that his tactics have to be exceedingly good because the Heroes of Might and Magic community has a high standard for what they want out of their games, right? So it's got to be a mix. Like what attracts people to him? I think it's got to be a mix. He's got to be both highly skilled and fun to watch and nice to watch. So how does it compare to me? Your guess is as good as mine. I don't think I have enough information personally. And so yeah, the important thing that I hope that people take away from this, if you hear this for the first time, you think, who does this guy think he is? FixFox is just a guy who enjoys the game an awful lot. And there's nobody out there in the Heroes community that I wouldn't consider myself a friend to, sort of a deal. And I borrowed that from the gentleman from Kelvin's Coin. He mentioned that one time on his stream because I was trying to figure out, okay, what does he do that people enjoy so very much? And he mentioned that at some point. He said, well, I don't have any enemies in the hero sphere. He says, if you like Heroes of Might and Magic, you're a friend to all. And that's really how I would hope that the Heroes of Might and Magic community in general goes, is that we're all here because we enjoy this wonderful game. And so I wouldn't want to compare myself to other people because comparison is the thief of joy. I feel like I'm rambling. I think I should stop. I will try and stop. Okay. Anyway, hopefully that answers your question. And again, if there was a little too much sidebar conversation there, so be it. But as far as I'm concerned, friend to all, and I'm still trying to figure out what makes me unique, I suppose. Okay, we just ate a Disrupting Ray onto our Bone Dragons. We've got the Power Liches that are getting accosted by the Black Dragons. 162 of these Vampire Lords. I I don't mind where they go. I need somebody to take a whole bunch of damage here. This is going to get me out of the fight pretty quickly. I'm going to have the 200 bone dragons kill all of the gargoyles. And then with just one single swipe from these skeletons, these rangers are going to say to themselves, we have no friends. And so we should just call it a day. And for that, I bid them adieu. Ooh, Staff of Wizardry, +5 to your spell power. 66 skeletons, of course. Yeah, we're happy for that. But we have now taken this castle of Wormingham. And if you recall, these dragons seem to think that we were silly for trying to get them to join us, or when they don't follow anybody but one big dragon master. Another Resurrect True, a little bit unfortunate, but we have so many resources, it does not hurt my feelings to try and just carry on and get as much of these resources as possible. Mage guilds are important. Will these dragons join us? We'll have to get a little bit closer to find out. I'm going to stay here overnight and replenish my spell points. And the Rice Ruin says, by the way, Norovo is slower and very methodical, but using that much brain power is probably why he can't stream at the same time. Fixes live pro talent in action, and that's like comparing apples and oranges. I don't know what to say to that. There's definitely a huge compliment in there, and for that I sincerely thank you. Yeah, I don't know. Is playing and talking at the same time a skill? There was a gentleman for one of the dunk contests in the NBA, and he dunked 2 basketballs at the same time. And there's a cool show that talks about sports science, and that, along with the psychology of being able to multitask, we don't ever really multitask. People can say, oh, I'm a really good multitasker. And what you're doing is you're not splitting your attention equally. You're just shifting back and forth and back and forth and back and forth very rapidly. And you are still going to get some big negative returns as you try and multitask and do 2 things at the same time. For example, in the sports science, they slow down the clip and he takes the basketball, turns his attention to the one, dunks the one basketball, and then dunks the other, right? It's not that he dunked both balls at the same time. It's that you can't do 2 things at once for those sorts of things. Although there's something to be said about muscle memory and I mean, let's just think about every mother with multiple kids that tries to parent multiple kids at the same time. Yeah. Anyway, so streaming and talking at the same time, like playing and talking. If you notice, like right now, I'm trying to devote my brain power to this conversation because it's like an interesting conversation, so I'm not playing. Multitasking, pro talent. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you very much. It's a compliment. As you enter into the catacombs, a shiver runs through your army. Torches seem to fade as the presence of the hungry dead begin to bend reality. You realize you must make it through this place as soon as possible. What? Am I just scared of these people? Okay. All right. So yeah, legions. Okay. Well, I'm not going to stay around and fight, but we will try and go through up here. We got to go through these Medusa. Because of course we do. And even with 126 phoenixes, they still want to fight? You're kidding me. I got to get more than 2nd level creatures. That's what this really comes down to. Oh, look. And somebody forgot to take the Sphere of Negation off. Oh, okay. I think that I better attack here so the phoenixes can drop off on this one creature. There's not going to be really a good double hex attack with that terrain. Then again, the cavalries can go in that direction. I don't know. Let's just do it like this. Damage. 4 speed, 5 speed, 7 speed. We're gonna still do a ton of damage. I do still want to offload these elves. 86 just isn't good enough for this army. Do I have diplomacy on Zam though? I think I do. I got expert diplomacy. I don't know. Do I also have visions? I do. Tell you what, this feels bad, but I'm gonna dismiss these elves. And then I'm going to see if any of these other creatures want to join me. Like anybody at all. 1,400 royal mummies. They do not want to join me. Understandable. Have a nice day. And we're staying here overnight. Okay. Rice Run says they're both great in my opinion. Lots of good people in the Heroes of Might and Magic community. Kelvin, Absolute Zero. Winimaru, Fix, Norovo. Tell you what, yeah, and I really like Absolute Zero. I like Flame Walker. Who else do I like? That's the thing, is that there's so many great people doing great things with Heroes of Might and Magic. Bob Sprite, I think that he's still out there doing stuff. Like, again, I didn't plan on doing Heroes because I didn't think I would need to. Like, there's enough wonderful people out there doing great stuff. I would hate to do something that's already done, but I got a really great response. I've been working at it, and here I am. So, but yeah, so many wonderful, fantastic players, each with their own unique style, Rise to Ruin. What a good way of ending that. Perfect. Absolutely, I agree. You men begin to grumble. Your men begin to grumble as they pass through the dank caves carved into cavern walls to serve as upscale tombs and mausoleums for those wealthy enough to escape the mass graves below. Some want to slow down and do some looting. Others urge you to press on. Up ahead, the gloom is penetrated by a ray of light. Is it the exit from the catacombs or just the entrance to a deeper level of the dungeons? That's a very nice, very cool sort of bit of flavor text there. I really do enjoy that. Folks, these bone dragons want to join us. We are going to make them an offer that they can't refuse, and we're going to accept them into our army. Is there something over here? I need to find out what's in the darkness here. Legendary Scepter. I'm not going to... Well, now they got the bone dragons, I can win these fights. Maybe I now need to get rid of the orcs. Oh geez. I think I need to get rid of the orcs so that way I can get liches into my army. Because there's 2 stacks, one here, one here. Liches are in the mood for a fight. Are they still in the mood for a fight? Okay, well now I just feel silly for having dismissed those creatures. Okay, all right. My bad, my bad. But here's a real question for you. Are these dragons going to want to join me? And that's a question I don't know the answer to. Nope, they want to fight. This is a horde. This is a throng. What? There's a throng? 100 red dragons, and you want to fight me? You're crazy. I can't believe that. Draconis with his horde of red dragons. Tell you what, let's take out the dragon lords here. Ooh, including the dragon king. And then we should be well on our way to victory. 88 red dragons, 156 of the griffins, 5 of the bone dragons. This is not a small force. With 6 attack, 0 defense, though, I think that we're fine. I do want to cast... Wait, does he have a Spear of Negation? I thought that my other hero had the Sphere of Negation. There's a Sphere of Negation out there. Oh, 63 power liches goes down. Yikes. We kill 8 red dragons. That's not enough. We're not killing as many as I thought. How many red dragons do we kill with the bone dragons? 60? Okay, that's fine for me. And then these skeletons are gonna just be the end all be all. Goodness gracious. Okay, we're still gonna win, but 66 of the liches, that's the problem. And there it is. There's a Spear of Negation. There's a Sword of Anduran. Expert? No, we want the mysticism because we're gonna get luck in just a second. Let's see. Do we need to go in here? I think so. I'm gonna pick up the Mage Guild. I don't think that there's any dragons available. There's not. Summon Earth Elemental. Sure, we're gonna stop in for that. But I think that now that we have this Sword of Anduran, I think we're gonna get some of these artifacts off of us, and then we're gonna go try and track down this breastplate and this helmet, and we're gonna have 2 battle garbs of Anduran. Because that just seems like a good time to me. So let's do that. Maybe they'll be more willing to join if you take Dragon City and recruit some first. I think that you're right. I do think that you're right. And there are actually some in here, right? Yeah, there's 4. I don't want to lose any when I fight this fight here. So let's kill this Dragon King and then let's continue on. Oh my goodness. After the previous fight, this isn't even funny. This isn't even a problem. We're going to kill 5 black dragons immediately. We're going to then kill 5 red dragons. When your green dragons lose their turn, you know you're having a real bad time. And then from there, double damage against the power liches. That's still not going to save you. The Crusaders are gone. Oh, but you know what? I'll bet that the Dragon King had some artifacts I just missed out on. I'll bet you I just missed an opportunity. So tell you what, let's hire another hero. Let's make it this Mr. Bones from Mr. Bones' Wild Ride. And he's going to take some of these artifacts I just don't want anymore. Like Sphere of Negation. Like, Summon Earth Elemental. We don't need that anymore. The +2 to our knowledge is not that good. I'll keep everything else for now. Oh, the Giant's Flail for a +1 attack. That's not good enough to make it into my army. And I do want to keep the Mass Haste. Unless Actually, I think I have the mass haste. I think I already picked that up somewhere by now. I'm going to assume that I have. And then Beastmaster is going to continue on. And then with these 4 dragons. With these 4 dragons, maybe the enemy is going to want to join us. Let's see. Nope, they're in the mood for a fight. Okay. Tell you what, let's take these dragon cities so that way we can continue to get our forces beefed up. And then we'll take it from there. Red dragons, black dragons, green dragons, and dead dragons. In fact, let me just hit Q. Oh, I can't hit Q. Let me hit auto combat. And that's going to give us a couple more dragons here. It looks like it's going to be 2 available in this spot, 2 more over here in just a moment, and then we'll head south. As I'm thinking about this, folks, we're about 3 hours into the stream. I would actually like to complete Colossal Cavern today and then start on another map. I'd like to do a small or a medium-sized map today. I don't just want to do Colossal Cavern today. But the issue is that this map was built, of course, not with Dimension Door breaking it in mind, I'm sure. And so I don't want to miss out on the story and the interesting elements, but I also want to kind of hurry as fast as I can and still make good use of our time. It's a little bit of a weird spot that I feel like I'm in because of that, but I think I will move along fairly quickly, trying to find the big secret that I vaguely remember. And unfortunately, that means that we're not going to get some of the story elements that lead up to that, because I'm not going to be able to walk the long, winding road that's going to take us to the end of the Solomon's Temple plot line. So I don't want to cheat anybody in this playthrough, but I also, in the interest of time, I do want to just finish the scenario where possible. Remember, we don't actually have to defeat all of our enemies either. It just comes down to getting enough gold. We're about 1/5 of the way there currently, but after I explore at least every general aspect of the map, I think I am going to just move forward to get us out of the scenario and onto the new one, because I think that everybody knows that this scenario is it's done. We've done what we needed to do here. Oh, can I reach? I can barely not reach. 83 spell points left, so this Dimension Door is not going to hurt my feelings. We'll go to here, and I am going to get over to Wizard Isle. If we recall, I had mentioned that I wanted to fight this guy like 2 streams ago, this Shadowcaster. I looked at him, he was too tough, and now we are back. And it's time to say adieu to our friend. An aura of darkness cloaks the castle of the Shadowcaster. He's back from Ghost Planet 1.1. A name spoken only in whispers around the campfire. You summon your own wizards, who can say only that Shadowcaster came to the dungeon from another world, bringing with him new powers and appetites. Some of the guild elected to follow his dark path, others refused and set off to establish domains of their own. But all must return here if they are able to receive their elixir of life. Very cool. Very cool. And so this must be the Shadowcaster from Ghost Planet, which just sounds fun to me. I'm very cool with that. Why do I still have the Sphere of Negation? Don't worry, we'll take care of that in just one moment. 151 Archmagi immediately go down. Cavaliers, not very useful at the moment. Boars are going to eat that retaliation. We are unfortunately down a Phoenix. Unfortunately, their rebirth ability is not going to be effective here. And then 20 Cyclopes goes down. 2 of the Phoenixes, 19 of the Rangers, and we will pick up a Hideous Mask that we're immediately going to move to somebody else. Let's actually consider this. How do we want to do this? We're going to stop in overnight. Number 1, it's going to give us the opportunity to get the Mage Guild, so full spell points. And then number 2, but when I set off, I can give some of these bad artifacts over to another hero. Will I go for this Cloud Castle and the Titans? Sure, why not? That's going to be, it looks like 17 of the Titans. That's going to make our forces much better immediately. Our morale is still fine, still okay. And then once we're at full spell points, then we're going to have somebody else go pick up the Oracle. So on to a new day there. But yeah, any requests, any ideas about which Heroes 2 scenario you would like to see have played in the next little bit, let me know. Small or medium maps only, please. The huge cavern open in front of you is lit by the glow of a phosphorescent blue-green algae. Other than the short path in front of you, The swampy turf will make for slow going for any but an accomplished pathfinder. You can see a river ahead, but no obvious way of crossing it. And speaking of crosses, you are still trying to discern the significance of the Templar cross at the entrance. Onward through the bog. Hydras want to run, we shall let them. Horde of green dragons? I think that they're going to want to fight us, and I just don't want to. I just don't want to fight you. Could you imagine the dragons calling you a coward for not going over there to just kick their butt and just absolutely ruining their life? They're like, you coward. We were going to live and die on the battlefield, but you took that from us. And I say, I'm so sorry. I will reconsider next time, but for now, I'm late. Late for what? Who knows? Who cares? I'm sure that there's something that I'm late for. If the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland can be late for something as simple as tea or a game of croquet, then surely I can claim that same level of lateness. Muckross. I don't know if there's anything in here. There's 137 peasants. It's not bad. I'll take that. Trenlow does say save before this bog. I recall that there was a bug in here somewhere, but I don't remember what. Thank you. I will hit save. And then hopefully I don't run into whatever bog there was. I am out of movement points. There is no Mage Guild there, but we're going to all stay here overnight. But yeah, if we hit a snag right now, I would feel pretty bad. I'm glad that we don't have to worry about that potentially. Oh, no, there's no way to cross here? Yeah, no way to cross unless you have a summoned boat. Or a dimension door, for that matter. Ooh, Morbido, horde of the bone dragons, throngs of the mutant zombies, several of the vampire lords, but there's also a hero in here. Who is this? Count Iblis. Hey, that's a name that we know. And then also Gildan Tongue. Wow, these are some pretty tough forces. I'm just so much tougher at this point. Truly I am. The only thing that really worries me is these 34 genies. I'm going to focus all my efforts on them simply because I don't want them to half the stack. So I'm going to chain lightning. And I'm going to kill you with 161 of the power liches. Disrupting ray onto the bone dragons. Not a bad choice. I think I'm going to keep the red dragons back. And from here, don't feel too bad if the royal mummies actually want to try and fight these vampire lords that I have. 125 of their vampire lords are immediately swallowed up. Gonna lose a couple more liches due to the towers. Okay, great. And from here, we're good to defeat our foes. I just realized we don't have archery, do we? We are doing reduced damage through the walls here. Huh. I just assumed that I had archery or a golden bow or something. So 6 of the power liches goes down, 143 skeletons in return. We are up to expert necromancy, which we shall take gladly. And then this is a level 5 mage guild. There are 340 something skeletons we're going to pick up here. Whoops. Made it. And so we are up to over 3,000 on the skeletons. Gildan Tongue is about to go down very quickly. Like so. And then we'll come back. Did that town have a lake for a shipyard? Oh. I think that they did, Rise. Yeah, let me go back and check that. That's a very interesting idea. I like that idea. Let me go check on that. I don't want to spend too many spell points. The whole reason being is that I want to be able to get back to a castle that has a mage guild by the end of tonight. So let's wait a moment. Let's just do the one slow. And then unless the enemies haste the bone dragons, I think that my 196 should go clean them out in a second. Yeah, Disrupting Ray is not going to help you out here. So bone dragons are going to step up. We kill all of them. No stone gaze from the Medusa. Oh, and I hope I don't lose a dragon on this retaliation. I do not. Looks like it was not very close, but we do not. Heart of Ice, Endless Purse, 319 skeletons. Purple player has been vanquished. And now we are going to do the town portal back to Morbido. And if I'm not saying that correctly, trust me, wouldn't be the first time. Okay, let's hire one more hero here. It's going to be Vitania. And then Vitania is going to take off the hideous mask. And this other sphere of negation. And then finally, we are free of the sphere of negation. Who would have thought that that would have caused me so much grief? But it certainly has. Certainly it has. We need to go up into this area here. Let's go back to Chernobyl with Zam now. Where that is, I do not know. Cannot say. Okay. And that's going to be in the upper left corner. So there's still lots of different places to go. There's still so much intrigue on this map. Even though we're breaking the map with Dimension Door, which doesn't really feel good, we're still being effective, and we're trying to pick up all these signs. We're doing the best we can. Vault of Girador. Oh, that's what this is. Yeah, they said don't go this way any further. So we are in the vault. Hopefully there is some really interesting treasure up here. There's a Sphinx. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We have to do it, right? Will we save, though? That's the question. Do you want to live dangerously, folks? That's the question. Okay, let's go check that town. Macross. Yeah, because it doesn't really look like you can. Oh, yeah, look. And you can build a castle. There we go. You can build a castle and you can build a shipyard. So if you don't have Dimension Door, you can always set sail from Macross. In fact, we just might. Good idea. Good idea. Yeah, we'll take a look because we're probably going to need a boat at some point. Paladins, these guys are having a bit of a tough time. We'll go through them in just a moment. And then Rise says, I was asking because it's not next to any water. It's not next to any water, but this, I don't know what you call this. I've seen this used a couple of different times where it's impassable terrain, but there's also a boat. Like you can build a boat there. We're going to explore that in just a moment, and we're going to see how that goes. And Steeson's in the chat. Hello, Steeson. Nice to have you here. Well, well, well. If it isn't Sir Fixfox back in the blazing saddles. Steeson, always a pleasure to have you here. By the way, thank you for ChatGPTing me the other day. That was some interesting stuff. I had no idea that ChatGPT even knew who I was. And Steeson says 155 power freaking liches. How did you accumulate that many of those squishy Skelly Kings without scaling with Vamps too? So our two major forces are here on Zam, who has the Battle Garb of Anduran, and then also with Beastmaster, who's got 194 Bone Dragons, 162 Vampire Lords, 3,500 Skeletons, 155 Liches. These two armies are impressive to say the least. And it is all about this diplomacy. And of course, we've got the Expert Necromancy, +1 because of the Spade. Did I never get... Oh yeah, and I got the Shrine as well. Anyway, so we're getting tons of forces back, but that's how we're doing it, Steeson, and we're doing a really good time. We're having fun here. We are trying to wrap this scenario up so we can go on to the next one. We're trying to get all of the nifty little ins and outs of the scenario, including these Sphinx. As we've seen before, the Sphinx has a riddle. We will accept the challenge. And then Total4H says, that green field is just a prop placed on the water, but it is water underneath. Okay, you know, and I've seen something similar to that. I think it was Plains of Aegon. It's got like a lava-looking sort of prop over the water. If you play as the knight player in the upper right corner in Plains of Aegon, it's to the top and to the left of your starting position. But yeah, old map makers, they would break the maps where they would put that terrain over that, and it was kind of interesting. So you can do it with the green carpet sort of moss lichen structure, and then I've also seen it with the lava as well. So pretty interesting. Rise to Ruin does respond to Tobal saying, thank you for the clarification. Thought I was going crazy. You're not crazy. No more crazy than I am. Anyway, and Steeson says, oh, my eyes must be getting old. I didn't even notice the 3,500 skeletons and those phoenixes as well. Holy moly, those forces are massive. Yes, but we might lose all of these forces here if we cannot answer this Sphinx's riddle. A king of old, a king with gold, his riches taken by knights so bold, a Templar true, is that you will speak his name and have treasures unfold. What's our answer, folks? I am pretty sure I know the answer. Tobal in the chat says it's Solomon. Any +1s to that or any alternative ideas? Let's give it a shot. Tobal, it's got it right. Absolutely. So we're going to pick up this legendary scepter here for the +2/+2/+2/+2. And very happy for that. Trenlo says I won't spoil it. Oh, so Trenlow, you knew? I know that I have to tell you, I've forgotten a lot of the secrets with Colossal Cavern, but there is one secret. Please join, please join, please join. 46 Phoenixes just joined our army. That feels pretty good. But there's one secret I know of, and it's right over here. This is the big secret, and I want to make sure that I try and walk there rather than just show up. That is going to be one thing that I'm going to try and do as well as I can. A former captain of the guard admires your quest and gives you the enchanted sword breaker that he relied on during his tour of duty. That's going to be +4 defense, +1 attack. I don't think I want this spell scroll, whatever it is, but the Nomad's boots can never be out of style. So we're going to pick that up in just a moment. And then Rise Twin says, we've tried Solomon so many times, it has to be this time. Yeah, absolutely. And Steeson, Solomon, a biblical character, or another one. Yeah, and yes, we've defied the definition of insanity. Yes, finally we have. Finally, Solomon is the correct answer. And yes, it's the biblical reference to King Solomon and the Knights Templar. I'm not very well versed on the Knights Templar in general, but I know that they were crusading in some way, shape, or form. Of course, Solomon's temple, very, very critically important in a biblical sense. It was the temple sort of a deal. So yeah, it seems like Charles Watkins has added to the mystery of the Knights Templar, here being the shrine of the Knights Templar, and he is giving us a whale of a story for our troubles. Tree of Knowledge, somehow Beastmaster still needs to scale up a bit more. We're going to take the Mysticism here. Xanadu for +1, +1, +1, +1. And I don't know, I seem to recall, what was the movie? It had Tom Hanks. The Da Vinci Code. I'm pretty sure it's very, very much different from the Da Vinci Code and the Knights Templar, but I wonder if there was some carryover between the two. Occasionally you'll see Knights Templar pop up in common movies and things like that. Maybe as most recently as National Treasure, the movie with Nicolas Cage. A nomad trader seeks protection from a tribe of goblins. For your assistance, he gives you a finely crafted pair of boots made from the softest leather. Looking closely, you see fascinating ancient carvings engraved on the leather. Very happy for that. I am going to dimension door this upper left corner because we always have to check our corners. Is there anything else here? There's a thing here. And there's a sign in the upper left corner. Colossal Cavern, version 1.3 by Charles Watkins. Sir, I salute you for all the good you've done, and I appreciate it very, very much. Okay. I don't think I need to attack any of these foes. We are still looking, have you not noticed? We are still looking for the ultimate artifact. Still looking for whatever the ultimate artifact is. It's shrine here, cracked earth. It's got to be like right here, doesn't it? I mean, where else would it even be? Unless I'm going crazy. We're running out of places to look. That's what I'm trying to say here. We are running out of places to look. So, these, oh, snap, crackle, pop. I did not expect this to actually be a fight. Do we win this fight? We don't have the Sphere of Negation. That's good. We're going to do the Mast slow. 155 power liches. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Folks, we are talking 3, 6, 9, 12, 1,500, 16, 1,700 paladins. What in the world? I don't know how to win this fight. I have no idea. I mean, we're going to kill 66 with every hit from the Liches. We're going to win, but this was an unexpected amount of troops. Tell you what, let's cover up the Liches. And then, yes, as these paladins come closer, hopefully they set themselves up for a nice double hex attack like that. Let's do it right about here. Let's go for a buffing spell. What can possibly buff Liches? What can buff Liches? Bloodlust will do the trick. 3 extra attack skill. So we got 29 attack versus 12 defense. We're doing a lot of bonus damage. Oh yeah, that'll work. But as slow as these guys are, they're coming pretty quick. Mass blind and take them out one by one has to be the play. Think so? Tell you what, so let's do it like this. Let's kill this, or let's blind this furthest stack. We're going to have one more turn here. I didn't even consider the blind. Yeah, I didn't even think about the blind trend low, so I appreciate that very, very much. Yeah, I was just going to try to win this fight through sheer numbers and blasting them apart, and I think you're right. I think I need to do more than that. So let's do it like this. Let's do the blind on the stack here, the 256, 191, and 107. 8 dragons is not going to do that much damage. They kill a couple. 1 red dragon in return. Blinded. Slow. I think that the skeletons are going to kill this whole stack here. So let's kill here, and here, and here. They freeze and panic. Good. And I really think that the skeletons can probably kill 1 full stack, as can the bone dragons. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that I'm going to give the 3,500 skeletons a chance to kill 300 paladins, and they do. 17,000 damage, another 600 skeletons. But when you see paladins in that amount, you got to go a little crazy. Like, you got to say to yourself, what'd I do? Et in Arcadia Ego. I don't know if this is important or not. I'm going to take a picture just in case. As I've mentioned before, I'm taking pictures on my phone, so that way, if there's a part of the puzzle, we can go through there and we don't have to worry about that. Trend low, casual, 82,000 experience. Very casual. You might be fine. Didn't realize your liches were doing so much damage. I mean, clearly they were going to hop on me before I was able to take them out. So, no, that was... I didn't take that fight as seriously as I should have initially. So that was my mistake, actually. I think I need to actually pull a hero up. You know what? It's time. Crag hack. You've been at sea with your peasants. It's time to let it go. I need the space. Let me hire another hero. In this case, it's going to be Count Iblis, level 8. And I think I finally need to go to this purple... What? Purple tent. As you pass into the shadows of Castle Morbido, your armies begin to shiver and sweat all at the same time. We'd best be in and out as quick as we can, sire, says Quintus, the traveling secretary. No time to rest. We'll find a well somewhere along the way, I'm certain. Okay. And then the purple keyword is siege. So that is the first time that we've seen the purple key master's tent. But we have that now, finally. That's the name of the painting. Oh, it's the name of the painting. What was it again? I took a picture, so I better be able to find it again. Yeah, but that's the name of a painting. Interesting. I wonder, do you know what the painting is? Et in Arcadia Ego. Very interesting. How do you know that? He's like, Prenlo, you're just like, dude, I'm well versed. Of course I know. Like, you don't? I love people, by the way, who have a very eclectic bit of knowledge. I love people who you have no idea on any given subject if they know anything about it at all, because some people just surprise you and they're just like, yeah, of course you didn't know about the person that carved Mount Rushmore, and then they'll tell you all about that person, and then you'll say, well, okay, so where is the capital of Istanbul? And they'll go, I don't know. Just things that they do know versus things that they don't know. Just interesting. Let's head on up with Beastmaster. Throng of Crusaders, not my favorite fight, but we're going to fight this anyway. It just came to me like a memory of old. Gotcha. I dated this girl and we delved into it. Very cool. That's a very nice thing for a couple to get into. Discussing art and fine things of that nature. I'm very glad to hear that. We are kind of low on spell points. I'm just going to take my beating here. I'm going to kill these Crusaders where I can, and I will take any big hits wherever I must. Like here. 4 power liches, not a problem. There was an old game I used to love. It was called Masterpiece, and that was part of the thing, is that for the game Masterpiece, you had to recognize different works of art. For example, woman taking a bath, the lip shits, steel magnolias. What else? What other paintings were in there? Oh, there was a tons of paintings that I could recognize only because I played that game, where you are buying, selling, and trading these priceless bits of art. And that's a game that I'd like for my kids to sometimes play, so that way they can learn what it takes to be you know, wise and smart and all these things. All these things that I am not, I hope that my kids someday become. Legend of the Templar Grave. Here lies Sir Joffrey, a true hero of might and magic. Part of his legacy is spiritual and conveyed now on those who honor his memory. The other part is physical and can be claimed only by those unsurpassed valor. The final journey of those on the path of honor begins at the water gate. Seek the purple rose. The coded word, I believe that's coded word, is Sophia. So the coded word is Sophia. That's important. Let's take a picture. Click. And then Trenlo following up. Painting is two guys. I think Shepherd's looking at a skull. It's meant as a warning or something. Okay. I will look it up. I will look it up because I'm interested to know. All right, folks, we need to go through this purple barrier. Do we have summon boat at this point? We don't. It's insane. Oh, let's go back to Muckross and let's start sailing because I know that this is the direction that we need to go. So with no further ado, this scenario is winding down very, very quickly. I think that we have enough gold that we don't have to worry about too much. Pretty soon we're going to start hitting in turn more than a few times. But for now, into the boat we go. Point of contention. Can you... Hold on. Can you dimension door while you're in a boat? I don't know the answer. Can you dimension door while you are in a boat? I think we're going to find out in just a second, but I need to know. Orange players have abandoned him and he is banished from the land. Oh, was that this guy? Hold on. Yeah, that was the orange wizard, or the red wizard is gone, just dead. It's very sad. That was not my intention. I wanted to give him the honor of dying in combat. I'm sure that that's what he would have wished for. Oh, there's more phoenixes here, by the way. We're going to go pick up those guys in just a second. And then let's see. You can dimension door in Heroes 3 while in a boat. Let's just try it out here. Hey, we can do it. Hey, we've learned a lot today. I feel smarter because of it. I'm all for it. To the west, you sight the wreck of the Andrea Doria, a fabulous treasure ship sunk in a mysterious fog bank. If there are survivors, you'll just have to haul in some of those chests to clear the way, won't you? I'll just have to pick up all this gold. What a shame. Avatar Heroes in the chat. Greetings there. How are you doing, sir? By the way, P equals S. I don't know if we've picked up this one or not. I'm going to snap a picture just in case. It's a Heroes Sunday, Avatar says. Huh, right on. Trenlo says that he didn't know that we could dimension door that way. News for me too. Shipwreck survivor. You've pulled a shipwreck survivor from certain death in an unforgiving ocean. Grateful he rewards you for your act of kindness by giving you the sword of Anduran. Why am I not surprised? Oh, I mentioned that we've run out of luck because we've used it all up? I suppose not. I suppose not. Okay, another great pull from the Shipwreck Survivor, this time +5 to our attack skill. And we did, of course, have room for it here for our Beastmaster friend, but now we have 2 Swords of Anduran. Oh, geez, and it just keeps coming. Oh, hold on. Oh, I've got to do this. So we're going to Dimension Door our way back over here. But as we're doing so, let's see, 38 spell points. We're gonna bypass this little area over here. We're gonna Dimension Door from there to there. We're gonna land, and then we're gonna come back. I'm gonna pick up my second Battle Garb. It's too good, like for the memes at this point. I know that we're trying to hurry through the scenario a little bit, but for the memes, we simply must do what we've talked about. Wrong of air element or earth elementals, fire elementals. Let's bypass them. Maybe the Phoenixes will join. They do. 30. Maybe the Phoenixes will join. 26. They do. And I don't know if there's anything up here to deal with or not. Let me just flag this. Oh, and I'm glad I did because there's something up there. Good. Okay. Yellow players have abandoned him and he is banished from the land as well. Interesting. I don't even remember who that was. We are really low on spell points here for Zam, 25 left. If we Dimension Door over here, we're going to have to be obligated to stay put for a while, but that's okay. I think that we're going to pick up enough spell points shortly. Oh, and there's a magic well. Perfect, no problems. Okay, here. And here. And then let's go pick ourselves up the Battle Garb of Anduran pieces. We still have one slot left. I will have to have Count Iblis save me from myself. I'm suffering from success. Someone help me. Iblis will be the man. He's going to take, let's just make it be the Spade of Necromancy. 4,200 skeletons. We're doing fine. We don't need any more than that. This is going to be useless in just a moment. It's going to be Magic Well. Dimension Door. Artifact. 3,000 gold, 5 ore. You think we're going to take it? I think we're going to take it. We are one artifact away from another Breastplate of Anduran, and I believe that the final piece is... Drum roll, please. It's over here somewhere. Wait. I know I've seen it recently. Aha! There it is. We got to go through these ancient lamps. So closest town is going to be Dragadun. Let's go pick up that real quickly, and then we can carry on our way with another Battle Garb of Anduran. Dragadun. And on we shall go. All right. Wonderful. So, yeah, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Christina Diamond saying with every minute this playthrough gets more awesome. Yeah, this is an embarrassment of riches in the best possible way. Not always do things work out in my favor, but when they do, it feels like they work out very, very well in our favor. And this is that feeling today. Unfortunately, and this feels kind of bad, I do have to let go of these red dragons because I got to go through genies, I guess. It's going to be 3 here and a couple more here. And then I will take this gleaming object poking up out of the ground. We send a member of the party over to investigate. He comes back with a golden helmet in his hands. You realize that it must be the helmet of the legendary Anduran, the only man who was known to wear solid gold armor. By the way, you have to give this guy who found this artifact, you got to give him something because he's just proved his loyalty. He could have hid the helmet and been like, nope, didn't find anything, sorry. But no, he decided to turn this over to us. And with that, the 3 Anduran artifacts magically combine into one. And so we have Battle Garb of Anduran here for Beastmaster, Battle Garb of Anduran here for Zam the Necromancer. Feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. Speaking of Zam, Magic Well. And I do want to explore in this area. What's the closest town that I have? Looks like it's this one, Dragon Court. So he's going to go back to Dragon Court. And then Dimension Door his way north so we can make good use of our time and explore this map a little bit more. It's pretty fun. I'm kind of enjoying just the exploring portion of this as well. Steeson does say, hope we can do the spell tier list part 2 after we have moved some other stuff you got going around. Is that your house that you're trying to move some things around in? Moved into your new house. Steeson, congratulations on the new move. Are you, tell me what kind of prompted that move. Tell me about your move, and are you moving to a new area? Is this going to be in the same town? Is this going to be tell me more. I need more information if you would, sir. We got plenty of artifacts. I'm going to ignore the Sphere of Negation because obviously this group of rogues are silly. And then Steeson also says, wow, swimming in legendary artifacts are we? Yes, we are. Notice that the brown barrier in the absolute top of the map, just next to the gold mine you just grabbed, it's totally obsolete. Yeah, very obsolete. Unfortunately, all of these barriers, we have found a way to kind of get through. There's this sign. I want to figure out what that's all about. And it says, this is the post office. What? There's a dragon guarding this trunk of gold. I'm going to let the dragon live. I don't need any more gold. Although, let me just double check real quick. Where am I at for gold? Oh, I'm still fine. I'm only about 1/5. I keep hiring more troops, and that keeps hurting me. Wow, 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 wow. Oh my gosh. Oh, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? 9,000 gold per day? Huh? I mean, not to mention, I mean, we bypassed 1, 2, 3, 4 here. I need to go clear out some artifacts. I mean, I might as well. Like, at this point, we're trying to win the game. Might as well. So I'm going to come back in just a moment. I don't know what these mages are guarding. I just don't want to fight them, so we're going to bypass them as well. Wow, 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 wow. Do the Titans want to join? If they'll join, I'll let them. 72 Titans just want to join. Hop on, boys. Let's go. My goodness. And then, yeah, let's just go back to Dragon Court. We'll do that first thing in the morning. Wild. Very wild. After our hero says, I'm fine, thanks for asking, lying here on the lounge sofa outside on the porch, 0 degrees Celsius outside and a cold breeze, under a heat blanket, and some Fix Fox, life is good. I'm grateful I get to be a part of that wonderful moment for you. Yeah, some of my best memories are turning the heat on high in my car with the windows down, and or out in a sauna where you step out of the sauna into the cold surround. Yeah. Something about heat and cold. It just does the body good. I'm glad I get to be a part of that moment for you. Trendlow did say that that is where you got the win, up here with all of this different bit of treasure. Yeah, at this point, you can't possibly lose, right? And this Decent says, you're moving closer to work. Oh, great. And your sister and wife's 2 brothers, they'll be your new neighbors. Fun. The way you said makes me wonder if you really like that or not, but I digress. It's not my business. Hope you find the bag of gold in real life as well. You deserve it. I appreciate that. I said it before. I got to say it again, is that I don't think I deserve anything in life, but I'm grateful for all that I have. I am so grateful for all that I have. So I couldn't be happier. Okay. We made this little day trip so we could come back to Morbido and continue on with the story here. This is probably going to be scenario over the next just few minutes here. Let's pick up this magic well, pick up here, and then set sail down south. None of my other heroes matter, unfortunately. They're all just kind of sitting and waiting. Let's go back to Dragon Court. And then let's finally unravel the mystery that is the Knights Templar. By the way, does anybody remember what the purple barrier was? Anybody? Avatar Hero says also, how are you doing, Mr. Fox? Life and family fine? Family is doing great. Family is doing fantastic. They're doing wonderful. I mentioned earlier, I had a story with my kid. He learned that we do not squirt juice all over the place. Juice is really bad for us. We don't do that. And so my kids are learning, and I'm learning more. Every single day that I get to parent my kids, I learn even more. So things are going great. So I appreciate all that very, very much. Okay, and so through this barrier, we have found the hidden resting place of all of the Paladins and these Templars. Are they alive or are they dead? That is truly the question. We sail the river Styx past the graves of the knights out of the past. This explains the Templars' interest in this cavern. It houses their ancient burial grounds. There is an eerie calm as your boat passes silently along the river of the dead. But you also feel excitement beginning to build as you near the ultimate prize. But which grave holds the treasures you seek? We're going to continue on. We're not going to actually go through any of these graves. That's kind of interesting, but we're going to go to the very end of this because I know how this is going to end. And I'm very excited for it. It's one of my favorite types of endings to any kind of game. And so I'm very excited to finally get to share this with you. I remember early on when I first started doing videos, I wanted to do this scenario, but I was a little bit intimidated because there's just so much to it. And I was really, really worried that I would get lost and I'd have to do multiple playthroughs. And obviously we've had to do multiple playthroughs, but it's just really nice to finally be here at the end of all things. I'm going to keep these artifacts here, and then we're going to go on to the next things. That is going to be Sandro, the Peasant Killer. Sandro, nice to have you here. Welcome, welcome. Oh, it's you from the Discord. I'm doing very fantastic. I have not gotten the opportunity yet to look at your map template and the maps that you've shared with me so far, but I am looking forward to that in the very near future. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. I'm doing great. We are currently in the middle of this Colossal Cavern playthrough. And the goal is not to defeat all your enemies. The goal is to have a really good time, which mission accomplished so far. And then also get to 1 million gold, which we are not too far away. And you're especially not too far away if you pick up lots of these sacks of gold. Little leprechauns are going to dance gleefully around the sack. When we approach them, they're going to stop in mid-stride, and they will scream and stamp their feet. And then, of course, Finders Keepers is the way of the world here in Heroes of Might and Magic 2. So we're looking forward to getting that. And by the way, Trenlo, yeah, so Sophia was the code for it's the cipher that we're going to use to take the Templars' treasure. And it was Siege was the purple barrier. But good memory though, because it is Sophia. That one's going to be pretty important. Do we want to pay gold to get gold? Sure, why not? And then Mr. Moneybags over here. Mr. Moneybags over here is just hanging out, having a really good time. I think I actually need to save so that way I remember to come back to this moment. And I think I might need to screenshot this for a thumbnail. We'll see. We will find out. And then Avatar says, yes, kids, gotta love them. Anyway, oh, really, I got such great kids. And I'm just grateful I get to be their dad. So it's wonderful. And Season says, by the way, my sister is amazing. Wonderful, fantastic. Looking forward to having her as my neighbor. Good, good. Yeah, I always wonder sometimes how I would do living right next to my folks. My brother bought the house right next to the home that my parents have lived in for the last 10, 15 years. And it's been pretty fantastic. He's enjoying it very, very much. He gets to be close to his family. My family, we are each other's best friends. We really are. Some might call it a little bit tribal, but we definitely support each other. And it's really wonderful for him to be so close. I wish I was closer, but I also have thrown down my roots in this part of the world, and it's not too far away from where my folks live. It's close enough I can always be there very, very quickly if I need to be. But yeah, being close to family, I hope that you enjoy that time. I hope that you take full advantage of it. So good. And then Sandro the Peasant Killer, thanks, no pressure. The map is really big and challenging. I'm looking forward to it. This is an XL map. We're going to see how this one goes. We will have to wait and find out. And again, thank you for the follow. Always a pleasure. Steeson does say, Mr. Moneybags equals Zam. I like the sound of that. And then Sandro the Peasant Killer follows up with, but I hope you'll have fun with it at the right time. Cheers. Cheers. Absolutely. You pause before the Sphinx, reflecting on your journey. Maybe here will be enough money to pay off the ransom. Yet how could a common village be worth all this gold and all these deaths? Confident that you know the answer to the question of the Sphinx, the 6 letters of the hidden code, and the secret word of the Templars, you enter the silent statue. I have a riddle for you. The Sphinx says, answer correctly and you shall be rewarded. Answer incorrectly and you shall be eaten. Do you accept the challenge? I do, but I have to make sure I have room in my artifact slot because this is going to be pretty fun. What is the secret word of the Templars? If you diligently visited the Templar graves, which we have, you should know the legend and the code. The word you were given at the shrine is a 6-letter cipher, which you must solve by substituting letters from the codes found at the grave sites. What is our answer? So folks, here in the chat, I'm going to put down as many of these words as I can find in my phone. As you know, I've been taking pictures. I'd like for you to get the opportunity to discover what the word is for yourself. If you know what the word is, feel free to just wait so other people have a chance to. Okay. I equals O. And I think that's all I have actually. Oh, and H equals. Folks, you tell me, what is the answer to the Sphinx's riddle? You tell me. Are we missing a letter? I just realized. Tellable for H. First was the response. Keitha, not far behind him. Christina Diamonds. Wisdom, wisdom, wisdom. Looking somewhat disappointed. The Sphinx sighs. You've answered my riddle, so here's your reward. Now, be gone. And with that, folks, we get a massive amount of gold. And we get the Golden Goose, which will bring us an additional 10,000 gold per turn. If for some reason we were unable to beat the scenario up to this point, we've sure got it in the bag now. So, it is a pleasure to have seen Charles Watkins work in such a manner. We are nearly at 500,000 gold. It will not take us very long at all to get all the gold necessary with this golden goose and with Mr. Moneybags over here, Zam the Necromancer. So pretty interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, somehow these 9 gold sacks are still not as gold as this, or not as good as this golden goose. Pretty interesting. Rice Druid says, haha, we called the goose last stream. Imagine if it's the ultimate artifact too. We still have to find the ultimate artifact. Oh, let's hurry. If it's the golden goose, we're gonna have the best time ever. Steeson says, don't know the answer to this one. Where's Oedipus when we need him? There's no Oedipus complex here. Wait, what? Steeson, what a weird reference to bring up. What a strange reference. You're gonna have to explain that one for me. Okay, but we have gotten through this area, no issues, no problems, and now it's time to be on to the next thing. I do want to explore in this area. What's the quickest way of getting here? I think it's Dwarfburg. Let's go back to Dwarfburg. And then once we're here, we're gonna dimension door over the wall. And I'm sincerely still looking for the place to dig. Where is it? Is it to the south? Christina. Oh, Christina, I think we got it. Christina, you tell me, what do you think? And so at this point, these rocks look fairly familiar to me. Although, so there's this here, there's this here, and then there's these sort of deals here, plus the pyramid. I think that that's it. Christina says, OMG. Trendlo says, yes, we found it. Yeah, I think that this is it, folks. We've even got ourselves standing stones up here. And here's that purple barrier. Okay, so it's probably right about in here. Let's see if we can get just a little bit closer though. Right about there, I think is where everything is centered. Right up here. Here. Pyramid door is right here. Yep. Okay, meaning that our ultimate artifact should be right about here. Right about there, somewhere in here. And then we're going to see what this gold thing is. But at this point, we are currently getting, it looks like 52,000 gold a day. It's not going to be long before we pick up what we need. Yeah, we are at over 500,000. There's no reason for us to do anything but go and dig. And then just hit intern a couple of times. It's not going to be there. I do still have room in the artifacts. Yes, I do. On to the next. Not there. Okay. Fix Fox is batting 1,000. Oh, we're at 750,000. We gotta hurry. Oh my gosh, don't tell me. Oh, this could be bad. We're at 0.8 million. Let's do it one more time. No. Okay, I hate to do this, but we have to trade resources. We have to trade gold for resources. We're gonna turn this into gems. We're gonna trade about this much. Okay, we're back to 500,000. And yeah, obviously, why are we doing this? It's because we want to find this artifact before we win the scenario. The scenario is won, but it's time. Folks, am I digging in the right spot? I really thought I would find it in that one spot. Oh no, it's Month of the Plague. It's very sad. We could have avoided Month of the Plague if we just found this ultimate artifact one day sooner. But it can't be anywhere but here, right? Congratulations, after spending many hours digging here, we have uncovered a second golden goose. Oh, that's incredible. That's perfect. That is perfect. And you know, funny enough, okay, hold on. So we've got all this. Okay, we got to make the coolest thumbnail ever. So here's what we're going to do. Oh my goodness. I got to trade more gold away. Funny enough, I have to trade more gold away. Okay, we're going to trade that much. So back to 500,000. And we're going to have both of our heroes meet in the same spot. Back here at home. Back here in Luckenbach so we can pay off our debts all at the same time. So let's go back home here with Zam. Let's have him take 2 steps out. Let's go back here with the Beastmaster. And then we're gonna make sure that Zam gives back the right artifacts. So it's gonna be just like this. We're gonna have golden geese. We're gonna have 2 BattleGarbs of Anduran. We're gonna have money. And we're just gonna make the funnest little thumbnail we possibly can with this hero. And then is there any change to this army? Tell you what, let's do Titans here. Let's do Bone Dragons there. Let's do Phoenixes here. And let's call that a day. And just like that, Beastmaster is looking pretty handsome. Pretty handsome if I do say so myself. So, alrighty folks. With that being said, there's nothing else for this scenario. We just have to make sure that we come on through this. In half a moment, all it's going to take for us is to just trade back what we owe through the marketplaces. I hope that this doesn't break the game, actually, because it might. Oh, this might break the game. Oh, this might break the game. This might break my mouse. My mouse is having trouble even clicking. Oof. 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 And I think that there's nothing else to do but end turn. Okay. Oh, chat, you guys are great. You guys are great. Fix Fox, you can trade gold the way we did. I have to recall, this is one of the best streams. So much going on. Wow. Thank you, Christina. I appreciate it. And it was the Golden Goose after all, says Bearded Man. Rise to Ruin says worth. Tobal says 2 Goose and 2 Battle Garb next to each other. Yes, sir. Avatar Hero says tough digs. You have to trade away gold. Rats, but we got there. 2 golden geese should combine into a goose of infinite gold. Steeson says, I agree with that. That's a golden thumbnail. Bearded Man says, I agree. Damn, so good. Poppin' champagne. Beastmaster, son of Elon and Bezos. Keithod Q, yep, Elon and Bezos would be so proud. I think that they ought to be. This is the way that it is, and this is how we're going to end this scenario. So I think that this is going to be it. We have built up over nearly 1.5 million gold in your treasury. All enemies bow before your wealth and power. Folks, this was a joy of a scenario. You all made it fantastic. Thank you so much for the time, the energy, and I appreciate you very much. Our score rating is not fantastic. This took us 173 days with the base score of 118, difficulty of 140, rating of a Medusa. I don't care. I am thrilled for it, and this was so much fun. This is